Good numbing. Hello YouTube, hope you're all doing well, and welcome back to session 8 of Crystar. Last time we left off, we had an alternate take with this whole second loop, where instead of Nanana getting stuck with us when we bump into Nemesis first, we had Sen bump in, and come with us instead, which meant that when she bumped into Nemesis, she started learning and realizing that Nemesis was her mother way sooner, which led to some trouble at the end of chapter 6, but now throughout chapter 7 she's come to terms better with it, or tried to understand it better, and just before we wrapped up, just revealed to the rest of the group that very information, that she is in fact the daughter of Nemesis, or Nemesis her mother, which is interesting. I'm curious where it will go from there. So, eudaimonia, let's go straight in. Because I'm more curious to see how Kokoro will respond, if she'll be understanding, or whether she'll still be like, yeah, but your mother's a murderer. Oh, hello, Nanana.
Ray! Nanana waited like a good girl. Where are Kokoro and Sen?
Oh, say it's... I'm glad. I was worried when I couldn't reach you.
Nanana thought you weren't going to come too.
Of course I'd come. I want to know what really happened. How can Nemesis be your mother? Like I said, my mother Soma was killed by the Revenant Princess here. She didn't obtain purification, was consumed by her desire to live, and ultimately became a Revenant. Nemesis said her bond with an important person was taken from her. I think that important person is Sen. Nemesis wants to return to her daughter, Sen, by achieving revival. But she attacked me in Arashi, not just us, lots of people. Do you think I'll forgive her? That's not... I mean, I think it's a chain. A chain of cruelty. Yeah, even if we defeat Nemesis, the chain won't end. Of course, I have priorities as well. I'm saving Mirai no matter what, but... isn't the one we need to defeat the source of all this cruelty? That's... the Revenant Princess. All of you look so serious. You approach so close to the end of Purgatory, and yet you idly chat here. Be more aware of your duties as executors. What do you mean, close to the end? I love that face. Oh, I love it so much. I feel like I'm going to melt. I mean what I say. The end, the lowest layer. Purgatory's end is the final destination of all souls. In other words, 'tis where the cogs of renewal can be found. Which also means that your sister's soul is close to reaching the cogs of renewal. That's... You look so troubled, Ray. Such a desperate look. I can't resist it. I want to hug you. Hey, Demon Twins, why are you here? Given that you appear preoccupied with something arbitrary, we thought to remind you time is short. The clock is going tick-tock, tick-tock, and it won't stop. They're trying to stop us from focusing on the Revenant Princess. They want us to just deal with Nemesis, get Mirai, and get things in motion. Enough, you can leave. So that's all we had to say. Let's keep going. Talking here won't solve anything. We need to find answers. I agree, we should go. I just hope there are answers up ahead, though. So yeah, they didn't disappear, so they're going to linger. Were they all ignoring me? Nevertheless, I desire to see the birth of a new idea. Ignoring me too, Mephis. It is no good if toys break, but becoming preoccupied and forgetting you yourself are a toy is unacceptable. Let's watch for a little longer. Indeed, the Revenant Princess shall awaken soon. Hey, Mephis, what will we do? Whatever we desire. We are the managers. We shall continue to gather idea. Yeah, they didn't like the fact that we were steering into a different direction. Manager and spectator. If we're gonna watch, I want to have fun. Absolutely. Shall this end as a tragedy? Or a splendid comedy? But at least the party is getting more unified again. Ready? What the heck? It just started. Fucking stop moving. Ow. Of course. I mean, I'd rather go all the wrong ways first, but it's just like, oh, of course, the two paths I pick, both of them are dead ends. Because at least then if I go the wrong way first, I get the loot out the way and I don't have to worry about what I might miss. Even though, as it's proven consistently with this game, that really doesn't mean much. Getting bullied around here, come on. Get out of here. Oh, right, there's Shadow Wizard Money Gang over here. We just love casting spells. Hang on. That's why, like, I'm getting bullied so much. Hey. Enough of that. Is there a plant in here as well? There is. God, there's everything in this room. Assuming that like these maps are still the same maps from the first run, I think I remember how this one goes. I think this one is just like kind of zigzagging, but I'm honestly not sure. After Frantic 2, like everything's been a little unsure. Like Chapter 6, Mission 2 still had the split, but I can't. But it's not like the map's very memorable, so I don't know if they're like off the top of my head if that split was in the same spot, you know? That's better. That's the kind of a beam I want. Ow. Hey, I need some MP back. Thank you. Hell yeah. It's funny because I was reading, like, glancing at the guide which one wants all of everything. The guide straight up says only use Rei and Nanana because both Sen and Kokoro aren't that great. And I'm like, really? Really? I think Sen's alright. I just think the only one that's a little weak is Kokoro. And that's not because she's actually weak, it's just that her moveset's too slow. She doesn't do enough damage to justify how slow she is. White chocolate, that's new. A full HP recovery, ooh. And that's probably why it's not on the auto list, because it's a it's an X potion or an elixir, depending on what you want to count it as. That's going to probably be the way to the end, so I'm going to go this way. But whilst we're doing this, I hope everyone's had a good weekend. I had a good Sunday. It was supposed to rain like all day yesterday, and it did rain. It rained a little bit like in the afternoon, and it rained in most of the evening, but it still wasn't quite like, I was like, oh come on. I just want the big like flush out to come in so we can actually start embracing autumn and getting into winter a little bit now, you know? The suns are well and good for what it is, but like I said, like, no, let the cold come back now. I want to be able to close my windows, so I don't have to worry about like excess noise again. And the closer we are into proper autumn, the closer we are to winter. The closer we are to winter, the closer we are to spring, and that means the closer we are to all of February's releases. I say that February's tail end of winter, but you know what I mean. It's funny because, like, obviously, like, I'm super excited for 7 Remake Part 2. Like, of course I am. I'm a huge Final Fantasy person, and I fucking love Remake Part 1. But I'm also super stoked for Tomb Raider. Like, like, the schedule's gonna be a mess in February, I can already tell, because there's a lot I want to play, as my throat goes. You wouldn't think I'm 24 with how much my voice cracks sometimes. Is anyone other than obvious? Not charged is what I was going to say. Because this is part 3, so that means the boss is going to be here. Which is the Yuri. Of course it moved. I'm gonna try, just for a minute. I mean, the plus side is that look how much health she has compared to some of the rest of the party. She's a tanky young lady. Yes, I do remember this. Okay, we have been here then. This does feel familiar. I feel like the warp was over there though. I wonder if the warp gets moved. I have to try and like recall it for when we come back on the 3rd loop. I won't at all. Even if I take a screenshot, I'll forget to check it. I know I will, but we'll just have to pretend. Because I feel like the warp was on that far right platform. Hey, Kokoro leveled up. 44. Kokoro, when we're on loop 3, if Kokoro ends up getting pulled with us, at that break point in the previous chapter, I'm gonna try and use her more. How are we doing on them? That's not the button I'm looking for. 3. Okay. I was like, how many Revenant Swords have we actually got? Yeah, I don't know why I expected the enemy to even remotely stay put. I don't even know why I expected that skill to fucking hit, but here we are. There we go. Pensive for taste. I wish the like collectibles upgrading things had like more distinct names, because sometimes they're like, is that a new one, or is that one we've got, or is that one we've brought, is that one that's rare? Like, you know what I mean? Like, all I know is that the pensive forts are better. Like, if I go through here. Yeah, broken forts are the not so good. Pensive forts are the better. And I don't know if there's like another fort level beyond it. Maybe on the third loop. Just a corner? Yep. See, that, like, square, sorry, just changing subject for a second. This square here, I don't know how well you guys could see it on the compression. There's a white dot in the middle of it. I thought that was on my TV screen. And I was just looking at it, like, I was just kind of leaning towards my screen. I was like, is that? No, it's the game. So I could see it on the mini-map as well. Ow, ow. What's this one? Oh, Melzlif. It's been since Saturday since we last played this, so of course I don't remember what names we've got 3 of and what ones we haven't. Oh, we have like no SP with anyone, huh? Okay. If this is the boss level, I need to try and get some SP built up. I mean, it's also the boss level, so there's going to be another floor yet. There's usually 3 before the fight. Something's been bothering me. This place isn't Nemesis's, but the Revenant Princess's, right? That should be the case, as we saw in the memory reservoir. So the Revenant Princess could be here, right now, the root of this tragedy, who holds immense power. That's not good. But according to the memory, the possibility is low. Why? The accident was a year ago, right? A revenant so cruel it dragged a bus full of passengers into purgatory. Maybe she already obtained revival. She returned to the real world? According to the demon twins, once a dead person achieves revival, the fact that they died disappeared. Huh? What? Those who had even the smallest relationship with the dead, their memories get completely rewritten. So it's not like they came back to life one day. The fact that they died is erased. Is that even possible? That is just what I heard, but for souls, if you have any kind of relationship, if you get to know someone, their soul and part of your soul connect, kind of like plugging in a cable. Through that connection, the memories are overwritten. If that wasn't the case, revival wouldn't work. If someone came back from death, panic would ensue. So, if she already achieved revival, there is nothing we can do. It would be impossible to find her. It's unfortunate. What she did to Sen was so cruel. Let's keep going for now, especially if we're low on time. Yeah. Yes, I was like, please tell me I got the lot one on the end as well with that. Thank you, no. Ow. Always the hero, no. You could do with a bit more SP. I don't know if both paths lead to the same spot or not. Oh, there's a dead end, never mind. That answered that question. That was almost instantaneous. The game heard me and went, alright, just show him up. And of course you move. Well, at least this area is relatively straightforward. Or at least that's how it's been. I can hear another wizard. I can hear the whoop 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 in the distance. Where are you? Ah. Oh, at least this one's obvious to figure out which way's the wrong way. I wish they were all like this. Oh, and that links up back to there as well. Okay, that's... Ow! Convenient. Are you full yet? No, you're not. I'll try using you for a sec. Every time I'm like, oh, I used her enough. I did not use her enough. And it really sucks. It's just like... Kokoro's base moveset not being that good is like, whatever. It's like, but if she had good specials, it would make all the difference in the world. But she doesn't. All of her specials are way too slow, or have awkward accuracy, or, you know, are just weird. Or take way too long to charge up like that. And then don't even do that much damage when it hits, because, like, come on. The only plus side is that she regenerates SP a lot quicker than the rest, because she gets 5 per hit. And that's why I feel like it was needed that she has good specials. In fact, that she doesn't feel so much more brutal. Okay, yes, this is the last proper floor. Oh, hang on, hang on. Hey, Bernardus. Ow. Alright, you're full, so I'm topping you off. I need to beam these fucks. Oh, things were running into the way of that big guy. Hey, big guy. Hey, little guy. Can you tell me what's inside? Sorry, but I don't know. It's the dumbest song of Sonic Adventure. Actually, no, Amy Rose's song is probably the dumbest song, just because the lyrics are fucking weird. If you don't know, probably for the better. Don't look it up. Hey, one man, hope you're doing well. All you've missed is that the team have accepted that the Revenant Princess and Nemesis are different people. And so they've decided that the real threat has to be the Revenant Princess. As much as they want to get their revenge on Nemesis, the Revenant Princess should be who they're looking out for. The moment they decided this, both the Demon twins showed up and went, don't you think you're forgetting about your objective? You should be focusing on that instead of dawdling. So I've come to the conclusion they don't want us dealing with the Revenant Princess. They don't want us like even thinking about her. Amy Rose is great. I was just saying in Sonic Adventure 1, her theme song is kind of really fucking weird if you pay attention to the lyrics. Like, really weird, especially for the intended audience of the game. The lyrics are kind of interesting. Yeah. Sonic Shuffle. I can't remember I used to play when I was like 5 years old and played Sonic Shuffle. I honestly can't remember. I remember playing it a little bit, and then just going back to Sonic Adventure 2. Because even as a kid, I was like, something seems wrong. Even as a kid, I was like, I'm not sure how I feel about this game, but it doesn't feel like it's for me. I'm gonna fort, go on. Princess. Interesting theory. I don't think they are. I think Kuon, because we know Kuon's here. I think Kuon's the Revenant Princess, and it would make sense maybe that why she can't achieve revival if she died at birth and then became powerful here. She can't achieve revival because they were saying that when you achieve revival, the memory or knowledge of someone's death is erased, it ceases, so no one remembers that you even died. It's like you never died at all. But if you died at birth, and then you get revived 15 years later, that's a lot of, like, gaps to fill, and I think it's too illogical for, like, I guess, fate to let that happen. Cover up, though? The problem is that there's still another loop yet, so there's still a lot of the mystery we're not gonna get. Like, even though the team is unified in going after the real threat, the fact that there's another loop, we know they're not going to get it. There's still going to be a lot more of the mystery that they have to figure out. I just hope on the third loop, the team catch on that they're in the loop properly, so we don't have to do the whole revelation with Sen a third time, of her realizing Nemesis is her mother. Isn't really Revenant established? True. I'm entirely brainstorming when I say that might be why the Revenant Princess can't come back. There's nothing to support that. It's just the game says when you achieve revival, any memory of you even dying ceases to exist, so it's like you never died at all. Which also means it's harder to find people who have achieved revival in the real world, because no one even remembers they died to even realize something came through. But then equally, the Revenant Princess could also be like Nanana here, where it, as the name says, became a full Revenant, where after death you never achieved revival, but you became powerful enough to become a physical form again. Like Nanana here, who we're playing as. She never got powerful enough to achieve revival, but she got powerful enough to make a physical form for herself, so this is the form she took. Be revived, she'd both be born and time be maybe. How many of these have I got? 9. Oh, okay. Well, I got to hope that's the last one then, since I know there's a boss fight coming. Please lock onto the enemy next to me. Thanks, game. I know you can do it. Get out of here, Shadow Wizard Money Gang. Ah! Like the first revival, right? Maybe. But the thing is, it's like, to give an example, Sen, we know also, like, who we're playing as now, also died, but she did achieve revival. At least as far as we're aware she did. And so no one remembered she died, which is why she's the sole survivor of the bus incident, even though technically everyone died in it, or at least was supposed to. And it's why she had no memory of this place, because of just how time rewrites shit. Even she didn't remember being dead. Until she came back and realized and started connecting dots. But we know she didn't, at least in my thought, I don't think she achieved revival on her own. I think she was gifted it. But that's entirely, like, a deranged theory. I have nothing really to back that up. I don't think she got it herself. The Revenant Princess put everyone in the bus incident in a group and said, fight each other to death, last one standing will get revival. So I think the Revenant Princess did something, and Sen happened to be the last one standing. Oh, yeah, right, we gotta do this shit with Yuri. I won't forgive her. Just because I was involved with her, the Revenant Princess set her sights on me. And I got trapped here, and to share the suffering with Rei Hatada. I'll break her. She'll take on all my despair. Despair! Shut up, you. I'm going to tear Rei's heart into little pieces. Hey, what makes you... Oh, no, okay, this is different. Mirai finds her first. Uh-oh. Hey, what makes you think I'd let you do that? I've trapped your soul here, so keep in mind I can make you suffer. Oh, that's not Mirai. Yeah. If no right, they'd hope. No, please forgive me, I'm sorry. To hurt Rei? You want to break her heart? What, in 500 million years? Know your place. What the fuck's going on, Mirai? Or is this not Mirai, and this is Kuon taking on Mirai's appearance or something? But what did I do? I told you many times what you did. You were friends with Rei Hatada. No, I was only pretending. She's not my friend. She just thought I was her friend. I don't want to be friends with that shut-in. Didn't I say you should know your place? She can be disappointing in many ways, but she has some good things about her too. Like her cute, squishy cheeks. So is Yuri not the boss anymore? Because I think she just got, like, super killed. It's a dead end! How do we get out of here? Wait, something is off. Oh, there's the bus. Ouch, 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 ouch. Oh, never mind, maybe we'll be fighting Yuri. Break. 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 Break her. Go on, I mean, you might... Is it a siscon when you really want your sister to suffer in all means or fashion? At least that's the impression I'm getting. Yeah, is that Yuri? She's Yuri Minano? But this is... Something's wrong! Get back, Rei, this is... I mean, this works out because I didn't get around to grinding this thing, so I still need to get its second and third soul. She's totally a Revenant. Yuri, why? Crush, crush, crush. She's not sane. Get ready, Rei. Rei? Rei. I need to crush and break Rei. The arms of Parmenides. Yes, because they've consistently talked about how she's got chubby cheeks. Or consistently joked about how Rei has chubby cheeks, so that's exactly what she's talking about. Heraclitus! My master, are they prepared? Yeah. This is just another tragedy created by that chain of cruelty. I will put an end to it. Parmenides. Round 2. I wonder if it's going to be beefier. I kind of hope not. I hope it's the exact same fight. Because it's a tanky bitch last time. Oh no, it's got extras with it. Of course it has. Hey, Shadow Wizard Money Gang, how are we today? Okay, it's not just Shadow Wizard Money Gang, thank goodness. It's Plant vs. Zombies as well. Anytime someone says squishy cheeks, unless they usually follow it up with something a lot more decisive that they're talking about booty cheeks, I always assume they're talking about the cheeks on their face. Because that's usually 9 times out of 10 what they're actually referring to. Yep. Look at that health bar. Don't you love the bosses in this game and how they've just got too much health? Yeah, I don't think it's that, dude. I think I appreciate different perspectives, but I don't think that's the perspective they were going down at all with that. I think they were just going down to her being like, maybe still going down the route of being a little weird around her sister, but not that weird, not that kind of level of weird. I think it was more that she just kind of obsesses about Rei a little bit and finds all of her kind of cute and likes those, just likes poking those chubby cheeks. Oh, you can be hit with status conditions. Kokoro, it's your time to shine. They can be hit with status conditions. You can do it. I believe. Alright, the status condition didn't go through. You can try it again, I believe. Alright, never mind, you're not helping. That is sponges. And that's not an action RPG general fault, that's a Crystar fault. Most action RPGs, it's just if you use the mechanics and systems right, their health depletes very quickly. I mean, heck, in Final Fantasy 16, on my hard mode playthrough, the enemies ended up dying quicker because I just had a much better understanding of the mechanics than they did on my normal playthrough. It's just this game, they're damage spongy. Ninja Wars? Ninja Wars is also... listing bad ARPGs doesn't mean it's true for all ARPGs, dude. Come on. And even Ninja Wars wasn't that damage spongy. It really wasn't. Can this fucker stop running away from me? Oi! Oi! Oi, get the fuck back here! You use both the characters, swap between them to keep the combos going, you start getting multipliers real quick in Ninja Wars. It's not the end all be all, because that game's still fucking shit, but still. Well, I say that, I unironically enjoy the gameplay of it, it's just everything else. And FF16, it is still an action RPG. Just because it plays more like a character action game doesn't change the fact it's still RPG focused with levels and stats. It just happens to play way more like an action game. Tales of Berseria I never thought had spongy bosses. 7 Remake and 15 I never thought had spongy bosses. Heck, 15 I felt the bosses never had enough health. I always wanted them to have more health, especially the more fun bosses. 13-3, bosses outside the final boss die hella fucking quick. I say that I've never finished it, so I can't say complete certainty, but when I saw the final boss at 51 million HP, I was like, okay. Okay. The bosses aren't too beefy in Tales of Arise either. I didn't find them beefy at all. Yeah, except the exception of the first 2 phases of the final boss. But that's the point, it's supposed to be like this giant meat wall, so it taking a while to kill makes sense. It was the super bosses only, I actually, like, I found too long. Thing is, like, trophies aren't affected by difficulty in this game, and easy mode straight up takes off about 1/3 of every boss's health. So I have been debating just playing the rest of the game on easy, but at the same time I feel like I've got this far, I might as well see it through. And Tales of Berseria, you can make it hella fucking quick, especially if you're you've got the right manual set up right and you're using all 6 of your characters instead of just committing to one. If you use them rightly, it is hilarious how quickly you can rip apart some boss fights, even on the harder difficulties. Even though I was rare to dare it because, you know, anything above, like, I think it was like chaos difficulty tends to get a little bullshit. Anyone still got their charge up? Oh, yes, you do. Finish this off. Thanks, Queen. 429 chain. I don't know why I was ever worried about the trophy for getting a 200 hit chain. And when I first saw that, I was like, uh-oh. But I didn't realize when I first saw that trophy that there were going to be bosses later on that take half a lifetime to kill. And I'm curious to see if Crymachina actually does rebalance the bosses better. Because the normal enemies I don't find too bad. It's the bosses. To be fair, what also helped with Berseria, even putting aside my bias for like not liking the older Tales of games, they had been action RPGs since like 1998. So they have and they'd had a game like every 2 to 3 years since then. So they literally had like 20-ish years nearly, if not more, honing the craft to make it more and more fun and more snappier and more accessible. You know, each one was a bit more experimental. I know like the Zilla games were a bit different, but you know what I mean. Like Zestiria like had its own system with like a co-op action mechanic. Vesperia had its own systems and mechanics with it. What's the one that everyone likes? The Symphonia. That one also had like its own systems and setups. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they've had a very long time to experiment, to try things, to mess with things. So Berseria are kind of coming like this epitome of the craft. It makes sense, even like in a logical sense. And it's also why I kind of get why Arise kind of mixes it up a little bit. Because once you hit that point, it's either you just replicate it, but then you could risk losing some of that charm and originality, or you try reinventing the wheel and distance itself from what happened. And Arise kind of tries to do that a little bit. Arise makes the gameplay more focused on you picking one character and getting as much out of just them, instead of trying to encourage you to play with everyone. Which, to be fair, if you only play with one character, moving from Berseria to Arise is way easier. But it will feel a smidge more limiting at first until you start unlocking more things. As I know, there are people that fucking love the Tales of series from the very start. It's just the series was never for me up until I played Berseria. Yuri, I'm sorry. Good job, Ray. Now it's my turn to face the past. I know, I was getting the trails. I can't, but you know I can't speak of trails. Because I haven't played any of them. What is this place? Are you awake? Mother? So this wasn't a dream. Yeah, after what happened, you lost consciousness. I struggled to bring you here. Why is it in the scribble? It looks like her hand is like connected to a spring. Like Sen's mother. Like, it doesn't look like it's her arm. It might just be because it's supposed to be like bandaging, but it looks like it's like her hand is like a mechanical hand. This is her fault, that revenant princess. Ugh. Can't move right away. Just rest here, Sen. What happened? What about the other passengers? I want to believe that everyone is a kind person. I do hope that this art style comes back in Makino as well. To be honest, I know like people say, oh, it's very reminiscent of whatever. It doesn't change the fact I like it. And that belief didn't sit well with Seishiro, seeing how he's a prosecutor. Mother, what are you? Even if it was forced on them, and there was no other way, I didn't think people would hurt others. Also, by this point, people had already started turning on each other. The passengers killing each other. Glad you passed out. I don't want my child to see this. Please just keep your eyes closed. What are you saying? Passengers might attack us. We need to run. Don't worry. I won't let anyone hurt you. Mother, are you? No. Oh, there's a doorbell. No, Mother, I've got to go answer the door. 1 second. I'm back. The other thing I noticed, I just glanced at the YouTube stream. It is another thing that is way darker. Like, I can see the sketches way more detailed than on like the YouTube compression. When I look at it, it is way darker on the YouTube one. If it's to save you, I'd do anything. What goodwill will come from listening to that monster? Oh, isn't justice about following the rules? No, none of it involves killing. Don't listen to her nonsense. Taking the lives of others isn't justice. Maybe not Seishiro's justice. Your father told me once when we were still together. He focuses on the rules because if he let his feelings and ideas get involved, that would make him a god. He wanted to be human until the very end. Well, I suppose if you're like a prosecutor, if you let your emotions get in it, you're playing god with other people's lives, I guess. Father said that? He was kind of weird. Yeah, shielding her eyes. But a mother's justice is different. You must protect your child, even if it means losing everything else. If it means protecting her child, she will give up her humanity. This is what it means to be a mother. Mother, please don't. So you will be saved. Your mother will sacrifice everything to keep her wish. No. Come back! Can you listen to my last selfish desire? What I'm about to do, I don't want you to see it. So Sen, please keep your eyes closed until the very end. But Jesus Christ, Supermom went in and killed everyone, didn't she? Mother? Mother! I don't want this, Mother. Don't go. Can't I do anything at a time like this? I'm so powerless. I want strength. Strength to uphold my justice. Mother. Sen. What happened after that? You already know. I returned to the real world by myself. God, did you see that sprite? For a second, I only... Look at that sprite. Holy shit, Sen. She looks like she's about to fucking lose it. Please, someone hug this woman. Please. Someone hug this woman. This is like the first time I've ever seen her like proper tear up like this. Because I was weak. I hid in the rubble as she asked. I closed my eyes tightly, shivering. And she told me, the Revenant Princess said I was the last person. Congratulations. The worst word I've ever heard. And it's going to make a new idea. There it is. No one hugged her. God damn it. Oh, things are turning out a little differently than expected. I never thought the Revenant Princess would recover this much. I suspect sleeping must prove to be far too boring. I think these two are aware of the loops. That's my theory anyway. And when they're saying like, oh, things are going differently, I think they're surprised it didn't go the exact same way it did on the first loop. Anyhow, we have a lot of idea. Ahead is the end of Purgatory. Ray's journey shall come to a close. 'Twould be trouble for us if the idea does not gather. Soon the cogs of renewal should activate. I'm guessing Nanana, the faulty Revenant, is in the most trouble. Maybe we should tell her. I wonder how she would react to hearing that her consciousness is about to disappear. Oh, it'll be fun. Yes, 'twould be fun indeed. However, if the Revenant Princess returns, we would need to watch her. That's true. She's the only Revenant that's achieved revival recently. Sorry we can't play with you, Nanana. Go ahead and break apart all on your own. Oh, so that's different as well, because on the first loop, they did tell Nanana that she was breaking. And it's what led to her choosing to sacrifice herself, because she knew she was going anyway. But now she doesn't know she's going anyway. Ugh. The final scene is approaching. I ponder how things shall end. I look forward to it. I hope we get a boss fight against those two. Genuinely. Oh, right, and yet now we're at the end of Loop 2, so we get that dream of the cogs. Giant gears. Oh, Jesus Christ. They are the cogs of renewal. Ray! Oh, congrats on making it through Purgatory. I see. So those are the cogs of renewal. I don't have much time left. Huh? Shouldn't you have a bigger reaction? Yeah, because even though she doesn't know it, Ray's used to these two being in her room because they did it on the last loop. And it's annoying Phyllis because Phyllis is realizing that maybe Ray's catching on. That's a new sprite as well from Phyllis, her eye a little wider and her a little bit more annoyed. She's usually so menacing looking. Hey, why are you in my room, Memphis and Phyllis? 'Twas what I expected to hear. Too many things are happening. Maybe my heart's become numb. Even when you're like that, you're still super cute, Ray. You can do as you please, but care you not for your sister? Of course I still care. If anything, I'd rather just focus on Mirai. If I don't, there's too much sorrow and hardships. I don't know how I can keep myself together. Oh, I'm glad to hear that, Ray. You are your cutest when you're at a low capacity. Capacity? Now, let us discuss Mirai, as you desire. You have met the requirements for revival. You have enough idea. As the contract stipulates, in exchange for idea, we shall bestow revival upon Mirai. It goes without saying, but Mirai's soul still needs to be intact. Otherwise... I know. I won't let anyone hurt Mirai's soul. I will protect Mirai. If you are this determined, we need not reconfirm the contract. Give up the idea, empty yourself, and go back to being Ray the Klutz. Ever since I laid hands on Mirai, I only exist for her. I won't hesitate again. In that case, we, Mephis and Phyllis, shall allow for the revival of Mirai Hatada. You know, I wonder if they just, like, in the recording booth had both the actresses, like, have, like, a timing to follow to make them link up, or whether they had the two in the room together. Because I can't help but shake the feeling, when they, like, all the lines they have to match, I can't help but feel like they just got them in the room together and said, like, hey, practice getting the timing between you for it. Because even that laugh was, like, to the same beat. Chapter 8, well, Overflowing Future. Or 8-2, I was going to call it. Oh, we got the optional audio to do as well. Oh, whoops. Fuck, I skip that animation again every time. I never expect it to pop up. The music's different. The music sounds more like hollow. Just because I have so many oaths to hate. I need another crystal ego. Oh, I think I can make a... Oh, I need more true mysteries yet. I'm a little off. Death Endpoint. What is it? A spiritual successor to Death End Request? What the fuck? Oh, third memory Minotauro. Just thinking about her being with someone else would cause him to scream in agony. It was not acceptable. Oh, pretty squishy. See, even you agree. Even you're turning into cult member mass suicide. Her cult was planning terrorist activities. There was a bomb, so she destroyed the cult by using that bomb. Oh, so she had a hero's ending. Okay. And still a Xenophanes I'm missing. Molesworth. The crossing was closed, she knew. But this was her only chance to get the shot to make some friends. She was killed by a car. A writer is writing didn't sell well, and as a result he killed himself in hope his death would raise popularity. He wrote the best piece of his life. He knew he would never write anything better, however it did not sell. It's a different Parmenides. Fuck. Oh no. Well, the game said there's no missable trophies, so I'm sticking to my original thought that boss rush mode we're going to get is going to be the way you grind these in after the third loop. Does that mean well, actually, to be fair, then it has to be, because when you fight Plato, it physically forces you into NG+. So we have to be able to rematch Plato. But if we go into this one and fight Plato again, it will be Plato 2, sort of the same way it's Parmenides 2 and Borobaki 2. So that tracks. So yeah, there has to be a way to rematch bosses, because otherwise it'd be physically impossible to 100% this game, because you can physically only fight Plato 1 once. And the reason I don't have the memories because I had way too many memories. I was overstocked. I see how the gang's doing. What is it, Ray? Kokoro. Oh, I thought you wouldn't pick up. Of course I would, since I'm taking a break from school. I have plenty of time. Having a lot of time on my hands is both good and bad. School? You're 21? I mean, I don't know. I'm just going to shut up. I don't know how Japan schools work. Maybe she's just, like, in her later years of college. Lets me think too much. I'm the same way. Times like that, you should practice some karate. It frees your mind. Karate? But I don't know. Big Sis Kokoro will give you a hands-on private lesson. I'll look it up online. Actually, I don't think I'll do it after all. Ray, you really don't like to exercise, huh? It's not that I don't like it, I despise it. Anyway, why did you call? Mephis and Phyllis told me we've reached the bottom of purgatory. So that's what those gears were. Kokoro. I'll ask. What are you going to do? If you're asking about Nemesis, I'm not going to answer. We've talked about it enough already. But she's Sen's... Yeah, Nemesis is Sen's mother, and the target of my revenge. That fact is never going to change, neither will my objective. Don't make that face. You can't even see me. Big Sis Kokoro knows. Ray, you know me just as well, right? You know that I'm not gonna stop. That's... Ray, you don't have to take this on too. You should just focus on yourself. You're making that face again. Well, thanks for worrying about me. I'll see you in purgatory. How's Sen feel about this, though? Ray? I thought you'd call. I don't know what I need to talk about. I know that's weird since I'm the one who called you, but if it's hard for you, we don't have to talk about anything in particular. No, I'm just happy to hear your voice, Sen. Yeah, me too. I wanted to talk to someone. I'm going to keep you in the line for a while. On the line for a while. Are you sure I'm worth your time? Of course you are. You're an ally. No, a friend. A friend? Oh, do you not feel the same way? No, it's just, it makes me happy. Good. Now first let's talk about our favourite movies. Movies? Wait, that's what we want to talk about? You don't watch movies? I do, mostly alone in my room. So this topic should be fine, yeah? How are you with horror movies? My kind of girl. Sen immediately going straight to horror films. I'm okay. Actually, I like them. Good. Let's talk about that first. Oh, and then it's they end up chatting for a while. Yep. Oh, it's getting late. Sorry for talking for so long. No, it was fun, Sen. You have such unique tastes. I never would have guessed. I'm glad to hear you say that. My friends from school don't understand me. I'll call you again. I'm looking forward to it. There are many things we still need to talk about. Bye now, Ray. I'll see you in purgatory. Yeah, my favourite horror one is the one where I get to play the horror. What? And you say down, 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 down. Yeah, I like playing the Doom guy. Down, down. This is what like sounds like. Yeah, my favorite horror movie is Human Centipede. And Ray just goes, "What? Why is that your favorite one? Because it's so weird and different." No, Sen, we're not friends anymore. Puts the phone down. Nah, I don't think liking horror, like bonding over talking about horror films, I don't think's edgy. Because I do that, and if that's the case, then fuck, then I'm edgy. How's our favourite little bean doing, though? I don't even have to do the voice for Nanana, which is just, Ray, yahoo! Nanana, where are you now?
I don't know. Nanana's never been here before.
Do you see the big gears?
Big gears? There are a lot of small ones. This place looks huge. Maybe it's deeper in. Should Nanana go look?
No, it's okay. I'm sure it's dangerous, so stay hidden, Nanana.
Nanana isn't good at staying quiet, but I'm good at...
Horror movies are like the only movies you can usually get me to watch. Yeah, to be honest, because I'm just not that much of a a film person. But horror films can be fun. So, yeah. Okay, just stay hidden.
Okie dokie. So quiet and hidden. The spectres will be terrified. So Ray and the others too, come back soon.
Oh, and this is your ordeal awaits. Hello, Mephis. I added a new ordeal. Ruined horror films forever. Saw 3D was shit, that's why. It's the final layer of Purgatory. Make sure you're prepared for it. But I have no interest in Saw 10. I really don't, or X. That's a shame. I liked Avengers 1. I think every other Marvel film that has come out in recent years kind of did that damage. But then I don't watch every Marvel film that comes out. In fact, I barely watch any. But Avengers 1 was one. Saw X. Yeah, because you had the first 7 that are the main ones. Then you had Jigsaw, and then you had was it Spinal, a Saw story, which was the 9th one. So now this new one coming out is Saw X. Anyway, before we go to endpoint 2, we've got the optional ordeal to do. Hey, that rhymes. Anything new in the shop? Or is the new restock going to be on the 3rd loop? Oh no, Pensive Thought Touch. I'll just get some of that now. See you again soon. I think it just depends who's in charge of it. The problem is that a lot of Hollywood bigwigs just don't have any kind of originality or creativity about them anymore. Because they don't care, they earn too much money anyway. So I would find with my book, assuming I did well, if my book's being either or, as long as it was directed by someone I could trust to do the material justice. You know? If it's just Warner Brothers shows, I was like, hey, yeah, we'll make your thing a film. I'll be like, no, I'll go somewhere else, thanks. Ideally, I would probably prefer it animated, not just because out of bias or anything like that, but just because some of the moments in Demon of Zenelheim would be hard to make look right in live action because there's too many flares going on. It'd have to be super CG. Whilst if it's animated, they could make it work more naturally. You know? It wouldn't. It wouldn't. That once again just goes down to who's in charge of it. It being live action would have nothing to do with it getting grinded out or over-merched or anything like that. It's literally just a different form of presentation. It's just who's in charge of it and who leads it and who uses it and how much influence you get to have on it. And that can be the same, both animated and not. I mean, fucking One Piece has over 1,000 episodes, you know? There are animations that get overdone. And get, burned into the ground. I know One Piece is kind of the big one in terms of examples, but you know what I mean. That's why I said I'd be fine with either or. I think the Marion Vincent books that I did before Demon of Zenelheim, I think they would be better live action because they're a lot more... they're less crazy, so they could work better with grounded cast. Sort of thing, if I had to pick. Whilst Demon of Zen, there's too much magic involved in a lot of moments that it would make it a CG nightmare, and I just don't think that would look good. Or at least I don't like CG in live action. I'd rather it be physical props if you can help it. Most anime only gets 13 to 26. Yeah, and so do most live TV shows. They usually only get 1, if not 2 seasons. And if it's a film, in some instances, still even then, they don't get that much, even if they're super successful. There's only 2 Thing films, and The Thing is one of the most influential horror films ever made, for example. And one of them came out nearly 30 years after the previous one. There's only 2 Sinister films, and they're beloved. And I may vote. That's entirely in your opinion. You know that's not actual fact, right? Like that's entirely in your opinion at that point. It depends on the right actors, the right writers, the right director, all the pieces in play. That's all that is. It might not just be what you want represented in your work, and that's fine, but to say that that's a general rule, that's just straight up incorrect. That's like saying all action RPGs are bad, kind of just plain incorrect. So I'm fucking with you, I'm fucking with you now. Oh, if it's your work, then it's whatever. Sorry, I got off track then. If it's your work, then it's whatever. It's just if you want it represented in a certain way, then you want it represented in a certain way. My point was more just saying that like any form of art can be made to work for it. That's the beauty of it. It's just who's involved in the project. You can have the best anime writer in the world, but if you've got an animation team that can't put it together, it's going to struggle. You could have like a god's animation team, but if the director doesn't have any backup writers or anything, it will fall apart regardless. Jesus Christ, like something in my head started aching when I read that comment. it's like fucking deja vu. I was like, oh god, I feel like I'm back in college putting up with people who go, you what? Again. Yeah. Love you really, dude. You know I do. That is British. No, the only British to be a convincing Brit, when you need to get out of a conversation and you're like, you know, it's like, oh, it's time to go sort of thing. Don't just be like, oh, I should probably get going soon or anything like that. You just go, right, and then get up, and then they know it's time for you to go. That's like the most British fucking thing ever. Everyone for some reason does it. Like you're in a group something, and then the person about to go just goes, right, and then I guess I should be heading off in a minute, or right, and then they get up, and it's like, I don't know why, but it's just the most common fucking thing ever. It always happens, and even like all my life, even I do it because it's all I hear every time I need to get out of a conversation. I've probably done it on a number of streams as well, where like when I've gone to wrap up the stream, I've started my sentence with right. Or if you're trying to get the other person to lead the conversation, you go, oh, you're right, well, I should probably leave you to it. Like, you know, it always ends up squeezing in. Oh, you're right, you're the magic weak enemy. Do I have enough SP for it? No, of course I don't. Why would I? Oh, this is just for loot. Okay. Well, it's an optional ideal. I shouldn't expect the path to be that branching or interesting. I wonder if we'll get another colour at the end of the second loop. And I wonder what we'll get, because if it's like you have to do, you know, 2 loops, I hope like the alternate costume or colour is worth it. Oh, also, whilst we're working through this, something we can talk about for a second. It's been revealed that that Atelier mobile game, and I always called it that because the title's so long, the Reza Lelanana, whatever the fuck it's called, it straight up comes out this week in Japan. Which means there's been 3 Atelier titles this year total. With Ryza 3, the Marie remake, and now the mobile game. But the reason why this is interesting is that if it's out this fucking week, do you know what's at the end of this week? Tokyo Game Show. And do you know what usually gets announced at Tokyo Game Shows? Atelier games. And I'm like, oh, are they trying to get it out before Tokyo Game Show? I imagine they won't announce the next Atelier game at it because it'd still be too close. But it's real interesting. I think it might be too close and they might want to let the mobile game breathe for a bit before they announce their next one. But there's a good chance that the Atelier game of next year will probably be another main one. Assuming we're getting another one, because we know Gust wasn't involved in Marie Remake, nor were they really involved in the mobile game. So as much as I don't expect a 4th one to be announced, Tokyo Game Show is usually when Gust announce whatever they're working on. So it's actually kind of wild in that sense. It's like next year is suddenly open for Gust, considering they like to have a new release every single year. It also means, as a whole, the whole 25th anniversary celebration, because even though it's the year afterwards, because it would have been last year if it was on the year of, as a whole, it's actually been pretty good, considering, you know, new mainline game, a remake of an old one, and a mobile game. And the anime, if you want to count Rise's anime as well, like, that's not too bad. Because the only Atelier game that came out on the anniversary was Sophie 2. But I don't think that was intended to be the anniversary game. I just think the anniversary projects took a little longer than they thought it would to get through, or to develop. At least that's my hunch. What? I was just sort of theorizing. You know my big dream is always... big dream is going to be Knights of Azure 3, because I really want to see them try it again. Now they've learnt so much more, I want to see them tackle it again. But I don't know. I have no idea if they will or not, or whether they would just, if they're just going like triple dipping into nothing, or I say quadruple dipping, I should say, with Atelier now, and everything else would just kind of be put on the bench for a little bit. It'd be funny if they do announce another Atelier game and it's Dusk 4, because then it'd be really good timing, considering I plan to go through Dusk relatively soonish. I said I'm going to do Trails from Zero first. So assuming I enjoy it, it might be a little while anyway. That said, it probably would be for the better as well if they don't announce a new game, because if they announce a new game, knowing how Atelier works, it'll probably be out in like February or March, and there's already too much going on. You know, there's already too much going on in February, at least for me, with Grand Blue, Persona 3 Remake, Tomb Raider, and Final Fantasy. Things up too nicely, Dusk 4 won't happen. Oh, fair enough. Well, they could pull Sophie 2 and put it like in between. I fucking skipped it again. One of these days I won't. I want to see that animation. I'm just so used to just skipping it as soon as it comes up. I need to, like, force myself out of that impulse. Crystar, Sarah. I make that joke every time. Oh, we need broken fort. You need 11 broken fort humors. Okay. Guess we're not doing that. Human for what? I don't know. In the same way, there wasn't really a need for Sophie 2. It was just she was the fan favorite, so on the poll, she decided to give her another game. They could just make something up if they wanted to. Who's Regard? He hoped his death would improve sales. He heard from a revenant that his death was condemned and the publisher went under. Oh, okay. Trying to do so weak, to know some secrets. He had a few opportunities to talk with demons. He found out that there was a being who created this world and souls. You know what would be a real twist? If they just turn around and go, Mana Kamiya free. Everyone would go, what? That would be a real twist. Alright, let me save. Alright, now let's wrap up loop 2. Alright, so remember, loop 1 ended with Kokoro and Sen killing each other, and Nanana sacrificing herself, so it was just Rei and Mirai left. We already know that, at least we hope, Kokoro and Sen won't kill each other because they've had time to talk about things. But it's just that Nanana now doesn't know that she's going to start losing more of herself the closer we get to the cogs. So there could still be trouble. And then the third loop is where shit's going to hit the fan when we eventually get to it, and we're going to find out what's really going on. Especially when it involves a certain revenant princess. Thanks for waiting, Nanana. Did you stay quiet?
Of course, I'm the ultimate quietist. This is everyone, right?
Kokoro, Sen, you both came. Did you catch that? Nanana going, this is everyone, right? The cogs are already affecting her. Because she's losing glimmers of her memory. She wasn't 100%, I don't think she was actually 100% sure. At least that's what I think they were going for there. Of course I did. I said I'd follow you, Rei. It's the fastest way to find Nemesis. Are you going to fight her? I'm sorry, Sen, but it's the only choice I have. If she gets in my way, I vow to pursue my justice. According to my justice, I can't forgive what Nemesis did to Kokoro. Are you sure about that? My mother died a year ago. Nemesis isn't my mother. She's a revenant who brings harm to humans.
Sen, you look pained.
Let's go, Nanana. Everyone needs to focus right now. Can't let other stuff distract us. Oh, if it isn't the wind beneath my wings, what do you two want? Are we really so funny, demon twins? Excuse me. I apologize if I made you feel bad. Phyllis doesn't give a shit, though. Phyllis is always like this. Forgive us. If you aren't here to mock us, why are you here? We are merely inspecting your progress as your employers. Thank you for your hard work. Your words only piss me off. Don't say such things. Truly, we never thought you would reach the end of purgatory. We see you in a new light. Especially you, Nanana. Oh, wait, was that a compliment? That being said, let not your guard down. The same goes to everyone else, too. If you die now, Mirai will not be able to obtain revival. All the idea would be wasted. Though if you indeed perish, we shall reap the idea. That won't happen. Mirai will gain revival, no matter what. Oh, as expected from Big Sis. I'm sure Mirai's happy right now. Now, this is let the finale, in big broad quotation marks, the finale begin. We're at the bottom of purgatory, where the cogs of renewal look down on the end. I ponder what awaits you there, perchance it being Nemesis or something else. See it with your very own eyes. Now dance for us, please, until the very end. Do not bore us. I imagine you meant Mirai, and they're not going to revive Mirai, they're going to revive Kuon in the guise of Mirai. Yeah, maybe. I think that's actually very feasible. Did they leave? I don't like those two. All they did was talk about what they wanted. They think of us as entertainment. They can watch us as it pleases them. Let's go. We are the ones who decide how this ends. Meanwhile, yep. Well, they've yet to notice the changes in Nanana. Oh, so I was right then. Nanana is already kind of shifting gears. Wonky, who knows? The effects are small for now. What will happen when they're closer to the cogs of renewal? And what about the biggest unknown entity? The Revenant Princess. How shall she act, I wonder? The stage can drastically change depending on her. We're just the audience. It doesn't matter to us. Oh, just thinking about it. How wonderful. And then, like, one of them just turns around and is like, I can still hear you, you fucks! Alright, gotta remember, there's more than 10 souls in here, so we can't, like, get every single one of them. If I want to get the boss soul, so I have to fight the final boss of Phase 2 one less time. Oh, the rain's coming in. Oh, I don't know if my... I need to check something. 1 second. I don't know if my mother stuck the washing out or not. I need to go check. If it's raining, I need to get it in. 1 minute. Nah, we're good. Let's carry on. I just had to check. Oh, Orthoporia Gamma. Great, a new variant. My favorite. I love Shadow Wizard Money Gang getting to do more damage on me. Great, fucking love it. Oh, and these guys are gammas as well, so they're gonna hurt like shit. Is that one called Jack? Yeah, it is. Okay. Turn sadness to laughter. Oh, okay, so Jack went insane. Was it Jack the Ripper? Montesquieu? Yeah, we already have 2, we've just started. That's what I mean, it's like we can't pick up every single soul. If it's a soul that we know we have, I need to circle it and not get it. But I don't know. I mean, if we end up, like, getting too much, it's not the end of the world. I'm basically just trying to reduce how much grinding I have to do after we're done for the platinum. But there's already going to be a few, I already know there's going to be a few enemies that I need to look up where they spawn more regularly. Because there's some enemies that they're just not showing up. And I think they're rare spawns that only spawn in certain areas, sort of thing. But there's literally a guide sheet that has every single demon and where they most frequently spawn in order. So getting that will be easy. And it'll work out anyway because grinding to level 99... anything else that requires me to, you know, kill enemies, like I got to do the boss rush as well, like all of that is just going to feed into that level 99 trophy eventually. The only trophy I'm not sure I'll be able to get is pet the dog 53 times. I don't know if I need to actually start a new file for that yet. Even though, like I said, the trophy list continuously pushed that there's no missable trophies, it doesn't change the fact that I'm like, is the dog coming back? Maybe in post-game the dog just shows up again because it's post-game, it doesn't matter anymore, but I'm still... Ow. Look up. If the answer ends up being something spoilery, like the dog could achieve revival or some shit like that, then just don't tell me. Or if it's something along that line. Only if it's just something as simple as, oh, you know, the dog's back in post-game because post-game, then I'm like, oh, okay. There's also a chance that just clicking on the Thelma thing counts towards the trophy, which I haven't been checking. But I'm honestly kind of surprised Thelma, like, even died. I know, like, and stick with me on this, because she's the trophy icon. Every single trophy has Thelma's face on it. Yeah, the third loop continues on into the true ending path, which is why I've been saying 3 loops. Because you get, like, the third ending per se, and then afterwards it continues on. At least I think that's how it works. If I'm wrong and it actually is a 4th whole loop, then whatever, it's just another loop for us to do to see how things play out. But that was kind of the impression I got, that like once you do the 3rd loop, it then leads into something else that then allows you to get that 4th ending. Is this to the end? It is, we've got to do some exploring. But plus side, if the more main content there is to do, the closer I'll be to level 99, you know, when we're done. So even less grinding to worry about. Ow. Oh, it continues on for a little while. I imagine this loops round, and that's why it's continuing on for so long. I haven't unlocked any new skills, no. I imagine the next one will be at 50 if we're going to unlock anything, assuming we haven't unlocked everything. If we have, that's going to be real tragic for Kokoro, because it means then her moveset is like stuck in stone as kind of bad. I also get to find out when Ray hits level 50. I get to find out if it's just one character needs to hit level 50 or if everyone needs to hit level 50. Because I'll get the trophy. Because if it means that everyone has hit level 50, then it also means I know everyone has to hit level 99. Which suddenly that changes a few things and how I have to approach it, because I don't play Kokoro as much, and so Kokoro gets less experience. Because whoever you're not playing as only gets 80%. If it just comes back in post, if there is a story reason why that trophy can still be obtained, then don't tell me. That's the easiest way to put it. If it's something even remotely tied to the narrative, even loosely, nah. If it's just post-game shenanigans, then sure. It's 4th route. Oh, okay. Okay, then yeah, just leave it at that then, because then we'll find out when I get there. How many souls have we got? 4 already. Because I am genuinely interested in seeing where the story goes, and I don't want to learn anything preemptively. I want to learn it when the game tells me. It's why I've enjoyed like theorizing, like what the Revenant Princess was, where Kuon's going to fit into all of this, how each ending's going to go, things like that. Because I'm genuinely interested, so like trying to figure it out. As if you need it, I've already got a guide ready. Because, like, once I've done all the main games, I've already got a guide ready for tracking down all of the memoirs, aka, like, killing each Revenant 3 times each, and where they all spawn. And you do all the ordeals. That includes a post-game ordeal, which is a boss rush. So I know, like, I'll just drop the game to easy when I go to do that to get it done. I won't do that on stream. Once I know the entire main story is done on every loop sort of thing, and we are officially in post-game, that's when, like, my stream journey of this game ends. I'm not going to be, like, grinding for platinum on stream, because that's not interesting to me. Okay, the trophy just popped, so it's just hit level 50 with someone, not everyone. So I need to hit level 99 with someone, not everyone. That's very helpful. And what did you get? Rain Ray, and it's a spell. Makes a magical circle in front of you and fills the area with 18 rays of light. You know, I never used Nail Feather. Let's try it out. I want to see what this is. Oh. Oh. Oh, it's actually kind of cool. That's fair enough. I think if I had a way bigger audience and like we had like a really frequent chatters with loads of people, doing those kind of just grind streams, I would probably entertain more because I could just shoot the shit with chat while I'm doing it and just treat it as that. You know? But it's like most of my audience watch in post anyway, which is like whatever. I'm perfectly happy with that. I'm just appreciate people watch my content full stop. And I know I stream at a kind of awkward-ish time for some people. I have said it before and I'll say it again. If I ever reach a position, not that it's likely to happen anytime soon, ever reach a position where I can do this as a source of income, I would stream later. Like for me, because I start streaming, or aim to try and start streaming at around 9 AM. I'd start streaming at like 2 PM instead. And then just stream into the evening. But if I did this as a full-time job, I would straight up adjust my sleeping schedule as well. Because I would go to bed later and get up later to kind of focus around it a bit more. I wouldn't be as bad as some people. Once again, I got to bring up good old Ray Nevaez Jr. That motherfucker goes to bed at like 3 AM sometimes, I swear. And I'm just like, no, dude, go to bed. It's like he's a married man. I'm like, no, be with your wife. Go to bed at a normal time, you fucking idiot. Instead of streaming all the time. But then speaking of, although it's fucking forever away yet, there's some guy walking down the road shouting. Hopefully you won't hear whatever the fuck he's shouting at. Actually, I might just mute my mic for a second if he gets shouty. Oh, stream to API limit. Yeah, fair enough. Also, hey Goddess, hope you're doing well. We're actually just talking about sleep schedule, so that actually worked. That's funny. I was gonna like, it's not anytime soon because it'd be like a year away, if that. But in January, I'm gonna make an announcement probably that like 2024 is probably going to be the last year I dedicate to streaming. In a sense of like, unless I find success, because if I just keep on doing this, nothing's changing in my life, sort of thing. I'm not advancing anywhere. I'm not finding my footing anywhere. Unless something changes, I need to just be honest with myself about trying to find my path. Because I'm going to be 25 next year, and although that's still young, that's also a quarter of my life, and I haven't really achieved anything I want to achieve. You know? And so, like, if I haven't kind of found my place in, like, on streaming, or found, like, kind of a connection, or just basically, found my rhythm, to put it and make it that this is a financial opportunity in any sense of the word, end of next year, I have to be honest with that, you know? You ever thinking it? No, I'm not. At least not for me. It's fun doing this as a hobby, but when I'm doing this, I'm letting other things slide. I don't get as much time for writing. I don't get as much time with family and things like that. And unless there's a valid reason for me to keep doing this, it's really fun doing it for fun. But doing it 5 streams a week just for fun, when there's other things in my life I would like to be able to get on top of, other things in my life I'd like to chase, other things in my dreams I want to pursue. Eventually, I'm like, I don't think I would ever truly stop streaming. It's just it might not be 5 streams a week. Is what I probably more it will be like. It'll probably be like 2, maybe 3. Because I want to be able to have time to do the things I want to do, and this isn't becoming that route. Oh no, I do this entirely as a hobby. I'm just saying it's a hobby that's starting to not like get in the way of other things I want to do. And so unless it can become like a job in that sense, I have to eventually like smell the roses, you know? I have to eventually be honest with myself about it. Hopefully that makes sense, but I'll talk about it properly. Like, it's not going to be for a very long time yet, because it's more like, because if in January, it'll be January of 2025, I would officially have been streaming for 3 years straight. That's where I'm looking at it from. It's like, okay, after 3 years, where am I at? Have I like grown? Like, have I like found a way forward? Have things changed? What have I learned, etc. I think even if I did this as a full-time job, I'd never stream that long anyway. I think I would, like, at most cap at, like, on average 6 or 7 hours. And it'd only go longer if it's something really, like, interesting to me that I want to play for longer. Like, you know how, like, sometimes like, when I'm playing Genshin, I get a little lost in the source and end up streaming for, like, 8 hours straight? I know I've grown and learnt life lessons, because I look... even at my point in life, I look back on like my earlier streams sometimes and just kind of cringe a little bit, but that's just nature of growth. I had a job, no, I do it full time. Yeah, that's fair too. Because as you guys know, because it's the thing that always stops me streaming for a very long time, I do 5 evenings a week now at my workplace, which is a supermarket here in the UK. And so I do about 22 hours a week, which really isn't that bad, to be fair. It's actually pretty sweet being only doing 22 hours, when some people do like 40 hours. But it's still like, that's like, I've been doing that exact same job for 6 years, and I'm kind of like tired of it, and I want to kind of do a different direction. But it's like also, I've been there so long that I'm a very respected member, and know what I'm doing, and like looked upon and trusted, and that experience means something, you know? But there's a lot of like pieces in my life where it's like, I want to kind of just take a step back on and just kind of put like think what do I want to do, where do I want to be when like even when I'm 30, when I'm 35, when I'm 40, etc. Where do I want to be in life? And right now I'm not close enough to any of those places for me that I'm happy about it. I think I've gone the complete wrong way. Premise of this. The reason why I stream at this time frame is because then it gives me room to breathe between streaming this and working my job. If I tried to stream this in the afternoon, it would clash with my job way too fucking much, you know? And I could ask to get it so I do morning hours at work instead, but that sounds like a huge pain in the ass just to make it more convenient for my streams, you know? Because the reason why I do the evening shifts is because I know the entire close down procedure. You know, I know how to close down the shop. I know how to make sure everything's put in the safes. I know how to, like, lock the safes. You know, I know all these things that then would just become wasted if I then move to the morning shift just to make it more convenient for streams. I know it's just, for me, it's probably just more just a part of growth as well, where I'm still figuring things out for me. Like I said, where I want to do and what I want to be and where I want to be. Anyway, looks like it's still far away.
But we've already been going for a while.
Even after this, we haven't caught up to Mirai. Can you sense Mirai's soul? Well, it's a little weird. Before I could definitely feel her presence, but now it's hazy. I can't tell if she's close or far. Maybe something happened to her. But as long as she still exists somewhere in Purgatory, we will find her for sure. Even if it's not actually Mirai. We're doing this for. I stream for me. It's just like it was one of those things I always only streamed for me. But there's other things that I want for me that I can't reach because of this. Or can't reach as easily because I'm spending more time on this. That sort of idea. Because I love this. I love streaming. It's just there are other things in my life I also love and other things that I want. And this sometimes feels like it gets a smidge in the way. That's why that's like the road I'm at. Or like the roadblock I'm at. Well, I love doing this. Wait, sorry, I think I missed something, Goddess. What's going on? Is there a message from before I missed? It down to an hour and it would just be as valid. Off an engagement. Yeah, to make it easier to kind of watch. I mean, before I started doing like streaming the way I do now, like every once in a blue moon I would do like a stream, and when I did them, it was very rare they were any longer than 2 hours. But that was also before I got wired internet, so I didn't trust my internet to last too long, so I always kept them short. Ouch, Goddess. Oof. Okay. Yeah, try not to, like, try and still see if you can find other alternatives before you do the full account, right? Like, that's actually, like, the absolute final solution kind of deal. But yeah, oof. But I don't know, it's just things I'm thinking about, that's all. I just wanted to kind of share my mind whilst we were going through a quiet bit, but now we're in story. But as long as she still exists somewhere in Purgatory, we'll find her for sure.
That's right, just as Kokoro said.
Nanana's losing it slightly. Why me? That was Sen.
Right, just as Sen said, right.
That's true. Even if it's hazy, as long as I can feel her soul. Mirai should be here.
Not should, is. You need to believe.
Oh no, this is going to be really, like, I already know how this route's kind of going. Nanana's going to be the one that loses herself. Because she's losing more and more of herself as it goes on. Because she doesn't know, she wasn't warned. And for yourself, maybe. Maybe, I have a habit of doing that, so maybe. Yeah, thank you, Nanana. I am always that person who wants to try and do everything. But, you know, is unrealistic with himself about what he can actually do. I know I'm that person, I've always been. Mirai's soul is fine, let's get going. Actual process, yeah. Gain years. PS4, I can't do live streaming since login error. Ugh. Yeah, that sounds miserable. I feel for you, Goddess. To be fair, live streaming is like, especially when I first started, I did not find it easy. I don't know if that's like a common. I know it is, but like Let's Plays. I was so used to doing Let's Plays that I thought, oh yeah, going to live streaming, it'll be easy, it'll be fine. And then I went to live streaming, and like the first couple of streams I did, I really didn't talk much at all. I just kind of like let the game talk for itself. Like it really like caught me by surprise because I was so used to Let's Plays and how they worked. And then doing it live, it's like suddenly it feels like you're more on the spot, or at least I felt. In 2017, I'm a PSN I've owned since PS3. Ooh. Yeah. I wouldn't even be sure what to recommend. Because it's such a weird thing that your account's doing that, that's all. I suppose I say you've already did all your research, so... I don't think anything I could recommend would even help anyway. How many souls have I got? Because I lost count 5. Of course you move. Okay. Send the hedgehog was ready to rip and you fucking... Get back here, Marison. Or was that Mayerson? Changing subject, I hope the gang realizes something's wrong with Nanana sooner rather than later, because I don't want both of the first 2 endings to kind of be miserable. I know they're gonna, because you're probably only going to get the happy ending on the last one, but it's like, please, no, not Nanana again. No, let her live, please. I'm not even sure how Nanana can get a good ending out of this, considering she's a revenant. She's going to be alone and left here regardless of what happens, but still. I mean, if she's a revenant and stays here for all time, I mean, potentially, theoretically, she could be in Crime Machina and make a new group of friends. I'm not counting on it, but I mean, potentially. I'm still sticking to my... I have no idea if the game's even got entertained doing it, but my idea of souls getting reborn through the Cogs of Renewal, leading to certain characters getting, like, their, like, resurrection or like rebirth in Crime Machina, even though it's like thousands of years later, and it's like something changes, and now it's like the reincarnation of them. And there's like a character that's like very similar to like Rei in the game, or very similar to Mirai. I already know the main character of Crime Machina from like reading the bios is kind of similar to Rei, so maybe I'm already onto something, but just less of a shut-in. It's more that they just don't like people. So there's a glimmer of that shut-inness, but not to the same extent. Console, you can have any games downloaded on your hard drive and then switch to a streaming account. No, I don't say that. There's always someone. There's always someone who remembers. Whether you care to admit it or not, Shadow. It doesn't matter if you're not remembered in the bigger picture. There will be someone that will remember you. I believe it. Yeah. Fade from time, Robu. Doesn't matter. I'll be so long gone by the time I'm forgotten by the people that matter that it's fine. The next generation can live their life and be happy as they're doing. I just know the people that matter to me will remember me during their time. That's all I have to care about. It doesn't matter if I'm not remembered in the big picture of things later in the universe. At least to me. It's the people around you, and they care, and they will remember, and that's all it has to be. Anyways. There is in philosophy, yeah, but feeling that you're not going to be remembered in time, regardless of how time goes, is an inevitability regardless of where you are, and letting that be something that sits on you is a philosophy that will only serve to hurt you. Which is why I am the way I am. I know the people I care about will remember me, and that's all I need. I don't care if the bigger picture doesn't, because if I care about it, the more I think about it, the more it would worsen my mood. You know? I'm happy knowing the people I love know me. Yeah, and I'll remember you. Mostly because you've annoyed me enough that I have to remember you. No, I'm kidding. But no, in all seriousness, I would. I know I would, because I do. For everyone that pops in the chat, new and old, I usually tend to remember. Even the ones that have only popped in a couple times or like said 1 or 2 comments. I'm like, oh, that's that person. Even if I don't remember names, I'm awful with names, but I do remember like persons, if that makes sense. I remember like the person, like what's going on with them, but it doesn't always mean I get the name. The worst one is going to bring the topic back to work. So hopefully it's a funny-ish story. The 2 supervisors are sisters, and there's been a number of times, because they're kind of similar to one another, that I've called them the other sister's name, and they always give me a look like, what the fuck do you mean? Like every time I do it. Discussed this with my first best friend on PSN before, and we both agreed that was to happen to me. They can take over. That's fair enough. If you have like something for you, that's fair. No, you're not creeped over, to be honest. That's fair enough. Each to their own. I know, like for example, like my granny. We all kind of agreed the last thing she'd want is like a big funeral job sort of thing. So it's like we on when we knew like the day like that to be blunt, she was going to become ashes. We went up on like a really high hilltop near our town and let a balloon go. So it's like some people just like remembered in different ways. It's like I know like Granny wouldn't have wanted that, so it's what we did. Also, let's see what's happening now in Nanana's memory. Speaking of, something's making me feel super chilly. They're Bobaki. Gonna get in our way again, huh? Creepiness has leveled up. Here they come. Okay, there was nothing in that. There was nothing in that came across as Nanana losing memory. But isn't it, in a cruel twist of fate, if it meant that much to so many people, isn't that kind of a good thing? Because it meant that he mattered to a lot of people. I'm sure you've already been told that a million times before, but as much as it's tragic, it is one of those, like, things. Where's the password? I mean, when someone's just gone, it's almost trying to like have that positive spin, or like the more people that you know are like affected by it, the more significant their existence was one way or another, the more they meant something to people. Like the biggest thing that surprised me back in 2018 when I lost my uncle was how many complete strangers went up to me and went, "Is Martin your uncle? Oh, I'm so sorry." I was like, how does he know so many people? Like, you know, like that was the most thing for me, but it also kind of gave me comfort to know that he had touched so many lives, even more than I'd ever realized. To know that he had touched so many lives, it just made me happy, because it was like it meant like he mattered to so many people. So I'm barely focusing on the games, I'm trying to keep up the conversation. That's why I'm getting bullied so much. I know it's also Shadow Wizard Money Gang, so I always get beat up a lot, but still. Nah, I don't agree. You don't have to agree. I'm just giving my 5 pence. I'm going to destroy it. We're going. I'm extremely private with a lot of like my emails and stuff like that. I have 3 different emails, for goodness sake. That's like the only thing with me that's like I'm super private on. Like I'm very open about a lot of what's going on in my life. I'm super private about my data stuff. Re-acknowledgement of those who are hurt by the loss. Sorry, I need to think on that one because that different. I don't know, because I try and live in the moment and keep on going, but it does, and just do for me and like take pride in what I've got. But I don't feel that like constant re-acknowledgement of those hurt by the loss. Like I just take it for what it is. I don't know how to word it. You have to forgive me if I'm talking nonsense because I don't really know how to put it. I think that is I'm going to be completely honest with you, one man. That is the most miserable thing I think I've ever heard. Genuinely. Being hated so people can live life with a smile. No one, unless you're like the worst scumbag in the world, would ever wish ill on you like that. Even if they say they do, the moment something actually genuinely happens to you, people show their true colors. I think that is genuinely a horrendously miserable way to look at things, one man. You can believe what you want, doesn't change the fact it's fucking miserable. My guy, I'm sorry, I had to be honest with you in that one. Like, that is genuinely like, it's a shame. I'd rather be remembered if people remember me when I'm gone and are sad about it. It's not just a matter of being sad. It's reminiscing. It's memories. It's the happiness that once was. It's so much more than just they're sad now. Because choosing a life where you want to be the most hated person on the planet is fucking depressing as shit. It's the most miserable thing. There's a line here that you should be able to identify that I don't know how else to word to you. That you're not. That is genuinely horrendously miserable and mean-spirited onto yourself. It really is, dude. I don't know how else to say that. It really is. You shouldn't have, like, there's so much more to it than, like, if you're loved. There's so much more to, oh, when you're gone, people are sad. People remember the happy times. People smile, thinking about, like, oh, remember that time when, like, one man did this? Oh, yeah, remember that was so great. You know, there's things like that. People are happy with the memory they have, not just sad. Making them that they can only be slightly, oh yeah, good that prick's gone, and then they don't think about it ever fucking again. That's pathetic. That's miserable. That's not right. I'm sorry if I can't word it right, if I'm coming across too antagonistic, but that's just not right. I don't know how else to put it. And I'm sorry if that's, like, mean or, like, unfair to you, but there's no other way to put that. I don't know how to word it. That's just so aggressive, that, like, aggressively misplaced. I don't get it. I don't know how to explain it to you, man. I honestly don't, and I really apologize if it comes across that I'm, like, attacking you. I don't mean it like that. It's just that really took me for a loop, that comment, because I've never read something so miserable in my life, and I was just like, holy shit. Like, and then when you double down on it, I was like, what do you mean? like so I was like, so please don't take this as me being aggressive. It's like, that genuinely just took me for a loop. I was just like, what? There's so much more than just either sadness or happiness. There's so much in the middle that affects so much. But if you just choose to make it that all people can feel is anger towards you or hatred towards you, that won't be anything. You'll die and people go, okay, good riddance, and that's the last anything will ever be said about you. There won't be happiness. People will just go, okay, bye. But if you mean something to people's lives and make happiness to people's lives and make this joy with people like together, they will be better people for it. They will remember you and smile in time goes on. They might be sad at the time because no one wants to lose the people they love, but they will be happy to think about it. They'll be happy to look back. They'll be happy to have the life they have and that you were a part of their life. To just be like, I would rather be hated, just feels so self-imposingly miserable. Like, I genuinely almost wanted to cry. Like, I kind of like, that's why I've stopped everything so much, because I want to almost cry for you, man, because that's such a terrible way to look at things. Very good, man. Absolutely. And you hold on to that memory. You're literally proving your own point, whether you mean to or not. You have that memory of who he was and that love you have for him. You're not just permanently sad because he's gone. There's more to it than that. There's a course of your life that's been affected by him being there and him being a support. Right? Yeah, it might make you miserable at times, but the path you've taken in life and the things you found in life, you've told me many a times, a lot of where you are in life wouldn't be the case if it wasn't for your old man. So he's left a positive impact. So there is something there, even if you can't necessarily identify it or, like, get it. You know? Yeah, your loved ones want to be happy, but they also want the people they love to be happy. And knowing that you're happy makes them happy. And even when you're gone, they can think of the happier times and it will make them smile more. And they can think of the happier times that cause them to carry on and be happy themselves. Everything links. Everything is together. Happiness doesn't just go when you die. Happiness becomes a happy memory, a softer time, a positive thing. Like, it's like, if you're watching this in post and if you're not watching any of this and like you're going, what the fuck's this guy going on about? I apologize. It's like, but this like really caught me by surprise, and that's why it kind of becomes such a a vocal point. Because one man, I genuinely think you're a wonderful person. I think you're a wonderful person as you are, and it doesn't matter what Goddess might literally know or literally doesn't know. She cares about you, so she's going to feel that for the person she cares about. It doesn't. Not everything has to be in that fact. It's all right, dude. I get it. So please don't take this as either of us like being on your case or attacking you or anything like that. We're not. I feel almost like, you know, like, we're here to help you. No, not in that weird. You know what I mean? Yeah, Goddess and I are very similar, if not the same in that sense. I always try and give a piece of me to everyone I can because I want everyone else around me to be happy. I want to care about everyone I know. It's alright, dude. But seriously, just... I don't know. I wish I had the words to give you, dude. I'm not a psychiatrist, unfortunately. I don't have like the words. You know. I wish I could have the words to kind of just like talk to you about it properly and be like, why does this make you feel that way, and how is it? So you know what I mean? Like, it's okay, dude. I'm gonna continue the story then, and we can get back to that when you're ready. But anyone who's sorry watching in post, like, sorry about that. Just I have to make sure my friend's okay, and that was a very like un-okay thing that I read, so I was worried. You know. Anyway, back to story. Why do you serve my mother, Nemesis? That woman is unworthy of our servitude. I'm gonna drop it. Okay, if that's what you want to do, dude, then okay. We will now worship the Revenant. We never found out what they were thinking in the end. No, I think there are some things that I don't understand. And there's some things that, like, Goddess probably doesn't understand. And there's some things that you don't understand. I think there are things between all three of us that aren't gonna 100% click in place no matter what. You know? Like, Goddess and I have our way and our way of thinking everything like this in the same way you do. All of us do. So I think there are going to be some things that no matter what just aren't going to click. I just wish I could have that conversation and know what I'm saying properly, if that makes sense. To be able to have that kind of expertise, to be able to just talk to you about it properly and feel like I'm helping. Not just to help you, but to help understand you. They're creepy. I don't want to fight them anymore. We shouldn't be seeing them again. Let's go. What were they trying to say? Oh, people can't stand. Yes, fair enough. Don't tell me that she's here. Sen, what's wrong? Never mind, it's nothing. Let's go. Sen, you can't keep on doing this whole slightly closed off shit. Just like, never mind. Oh, I can't remember which way's the right way in this gargantuan level. Where am I going?
Oh, I can't remember which way is the right way to go. Ah.
I mean, I have to do this a couple more times yet, so I need to kind of figure it out. So I'm going to try and get this game done. In an ideal world, I'd get this game done tomorrow, but if there's going to be like a 4th potential loop, there's no chance, there's no shot. Because then I can start Trials from Zero, or at least give it a go on Thursday, but I don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen. We'll have to see. How many souls have I got? Ooh, I'm on 8, okay. If I want to get that boss soul, I need to not pick up any more. I'll take this one though, because I know we haven't got enough jacks. Hang on, let me read that comment. By the way, if you want to know how to... Yeah, the ones that are... Because there's a whole thing, and there's way too many psychology studies on it. The way people say they are versus how people are in person are never 100% completely the same, regardless of how much they try to be. The people who might like troll message you it, versus the people that actually say it to your face. The people that won't say it to your face, no. There's a reason why they're not saying it to your face. Sometimes it can be a variety of reasons, but it's not always as simple as, you know, they're just not confident enough or anything like that. There can be a myriad of reasons. But the ones that can absolutely say it to your face, then they're the ones that you don't even give a second thought to anyway, because what does it matter? Exactly. There's been times, especially back in college, and I talk about this a lot because I know I wasn't the best in college, both how I was treated and how I was in return, where people I genuinely assumed hated me would reach out for me the moment I wasn't smiling. And it really did just kind of like, it's why I have so much respect for some people in my life, regardless, because I know I didn't treat them the best at times, especially during college, where I had a lot going on anyway. And they still made sure I was okay. They still cared, even if I know I pissed them off a number of times. Observant. Yeah, but when you're in a rut, you don't know that. And even if they're not observant, some people just care, dude. Some people you can literally spit in their face and they still care. It's just who they are, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just how we as people as a species can be. I know I'm the same. Lord knows there's a lot of people that I've given a lot of time and chances to that have then just stamped on me every time, but I still get up and help them again. Even now. And that's not even just about me being the kind one or whatever. It's literally just how some people are. It's just how people can be. If it's someone cares about, they will go to the ends of the earth regardless of what goes wrong, and regardless of how they're treated. Maybe there's a lot of answers for it. The beauty of it is that no single answer is alone the right one. You know, it can be a mixture of everything. It can be instincts, it can just be general care, it can be observation, it can be like knowing how you were before, as sort of attitude. It can be so many different things, and all of them are as valid and as true as the next. Some of them overlapping, sometimes it's literally all of them. Yeah, Goddess is great. It sounds like you've been around some genuinely horrendous people that were never worth your time, and I'm sorry you had to go through that. It's okay. In this house, we love Goddess Shadow. We're all here for you. So, anyone who comes into this chat room and is up to just kind of engage is loved and cared for, regardless. Because then I get to know them and get to talk to them. It's why I always liked, and I always mention it, because I always go back to it, that I always want my channel to feel like a safe space. I always want people to be able to come in and just be able to talk, sort of thing. Obviously, sometimes things aren't always ideal, or like there might be arguments and disagreements, but as a whole, I always want it to come across that anyone can just kind of pop in. Thankfully, I've never done time. I've never got in trouble with the cops. I've at least been, like, legally good. It's just sometimes I'm not always... especially during college, where I had a lot going on anyway, I wasn't morally good, at least in my opinion. So I don't drink, I don't do any substances that I shouldn't, you know? I only have, like, my cod liver oil every morning. Goody two here. I don't smoke at all, nor would I ever. The closest I got is that, like, back in school, because my secondary school, which if you don't, and for those who don't know, UK works on primary school and secondary school, not like elementary, middle, and high or whatever. Secondary school is from 11 years old to 16 years old. I got into fights a couple times then, but my secondary school was an all-boys school, so that's like the closest. So it was kind of just kill or be killed, because all-boys school is nothing but pure testosterone. You know? Everyone's shouting, swearing, everyone's up for a fight, everyone thinks they got something to prove. It's just a bunch of lads being twats. Since the 90s, they've worsened and made their full corrupt since then. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Is never really considered. There was a couple times, but it was only when something real fucking extreme happened that we'd kind of go, whoa, shit, you know? Because even as like testosterone-fueled, egotistical, like 12 and 13-year-olds, most of us, sometimes if like there were a couple of things happened at William Parker, the school I went to, and shit hit the fan, and we all kind of take a step back and go, what the fuck? It was just, it took a lot more to get us there because, you know, ego. That is a lot of words, scale to goddess. Hang on, let me read that again. Not out loud, though, because I don't want to get in trouble. Population. It's like, I'm white. I'll get in trouble. It's like, I'm not saying that. I'm never going to assume to have the past, nor would I even if I did. Yeah, I know what you mean. And it's a shame, because it's like, it feels like things are moving too slowly. Because, like, even at my workplace, it's mostly just, like, all the managers are just, like, middle-aged white men. And it's, like, it's starting to become very, like, mechanical and miserable. Because it's like there's no like passion in them because it's just that group of people. When I first worked there was more diversity in the management place, and you felt it because it actually felt like you belonged. There was family, there was people that cared. And now it's just a bunch of old white men that are just like, hey, do this, do that, do this, and it's like, okay, fuck, I'll go fuck myself then. Oh no, I never say it full stop. That word is an off limits word. There's there are just certain words that I'll just no, you'll never get out of me. One way or another, regardless. Even if someone said, yeah, you can say it, I still wouldn't. But like, that's just one of those like bottom line things for me personally. There's a cook's a renewal.
They're so big, it'd hurt to get stuck in there.
There's someone in front of the gears. I mean, it's fair enough. I mean, I don't even know what that show is, so I'll just take your word for it. Or what that is, assuming it's a show. It's not Barai, but I think she's nearby. Looks like who I wanted to see. Openings to a very creative. Ugh. That's a shame. Nemesis. Sen, I'm sure you already know. I don't plan on going against my justice. Can I trust those words? Yes. It's good enough for me. I'll put an end to my fight in order to sever ties and move forward. Except there's still more endings yet, so we know this isn't the end of the fight, Kokoro. No, I don't use it. So Nemesis is just there. Huh? Okay. She's just standing there, menacingly. That's fair. Maybe. The only anime right now that I'm kind of keeping my eyes on and getting ready to watch is the new Castlevania when that drops. Because I'm obviously super excited being a Castlevania fan. Alright, let's see how this one ends. I'm really like I'm so nervous. Because it's like, it's going to be miserable again. But it's going to be like this, doing the loop again. I hope the gang remembers the loops in the next one. Because Sen got a lot of development in this one that only happened in chapter 6, 7, and 8. And if we get resets before that development again, it's going to be really, like, tragic for, like, Sen and, like, my, like, connection to the character. Because it's just going to be like, no, she's lost that again, you know? It's down your alley, kind of found it on accident. Fair enough. Jesus Christ, goddess. I hope you're okay nowadays. Sending my love and support your way. Jesus Christ. Ugh. Nemesis, I won't let you get away. Oh, it's so noisy around here. I wonder what brought you to this place. Shut up! You know damn well while I'm here. Well, I don't know. Your words are so filthy I can barely understand you. That's enough. By the way, who are you again? I don't know any base people like yourself. Oh, if one more letter. She goes, I don't know any based people, and then Kokoro just kind of gets a little smug for a second. Ugh. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, goddess. Shut up. I understand. You brought me souls, right? Or are you here to give me your soul? Mother, stop. Oh, your soul reminds me of a baby I once ate. Crud and crude and tacky. Resemblance is uncanny. Oh, yeah. Ugh. That's atrocious. I'm so relieved. Just seeing Sen's memory. I thought I wouldn't be able to hit you. Kokoro. I kept telling myself this is revenge. Told myself over and over, but it seemed like I didn't have to. Now let's put an end to this. Nemesis! And I also, like, going back to the plot for a second, I know I keep coming away from it. I'm really curious what's going to happen with Kokoro. Because, you know, like, the reason why she does everything she does is because her baby was taken from her before it was even born by Nemesis. Like, it was literally, like, ripped out from her chest. And it's only because soul bullshit that, you know, she hasn't got some giant scar on her belly, because you'd think she would. And so it's like, what's the end goal for you, Kokoro? Because you don't, like, is she going to find a new happiness? You know, is she going to find her way? Or is she just going to get her revenge and then just be found hollow? Because that's all she thinks about. No system is all the barely disguise. Ugh. Yeah, because I used to have to do, especially at the end of college after everything happened, I used to have to do counselling. And it was just that. It was just talking. There was nothing else extra. And it genuinely did help. And, you know, just for being that, it wasn't just, here's a bunch of drugs. And enter this. Nemesis. So vulgar and violent. Yeah, you're right. The US like mental health protection system is that is fittingly on point. Yeah. Fine, I'll play along with you. Huh? This is that one thing. Aberrant transformation. Yet there's more signs that Nanana's losing her memory because she doesn't even know what it's called. Come on then, all of you. You want to put an end to the story, right? Jesus. That sounds like something out of like a fucking like, you know, like there's one of those B-tier Hollywood movies. Oh, the main antagonist, he's been in this deep underground vault for thousands of years. You know, like this ancient god. You know, like that's how it fucking sounds. But I know it's not. It's real in awful ways. Are you okay with this? She made her decision. Sen, you don't look happy about it though. Let's put an end to this. hear what you mean. It's absurdly bad. It sounds like horrible. Ow! No, save me. Just range out this bitch. Heck, who knows? Maybe she'll like spark some of her memories back. Ow, 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 ow. I wonder if like this like spirit like extra devil trigger form but not going to be in Crime Machina, their sequel or the successor, or whether it's going to be like an entirely different system because they're androids instead of like human beings. Because yeah, I mentioned it before, but Crystar, although not entirely because it still does its own thing, there are some glimmers of it that give me Drakengard / early Nier vibes. But more Drakengard. So Crime Machina being like thousands of years in the future, humanity's extinct and it's androids. I'm like, yeah, okay, that tracks. That's some Nier Automata kicking in. Ugh. You know, like... Can that... Yeah, there we go. I was like, can that go away? You know, as much as, like, I appreciate hearing this to know, like, how these things work and have some of that naivety broken, I'm also kind of done hearing about it right now, if you forgive me. Like, you know, it's kind of making me look like, ugh. Jesus Christ, can these, like, magic rings go away? Yeah, we're gonna play as like anime, like, well, more anime because DMC4 is kind of anime, although not in aesthetic, it's anime in design. More anime Nero. I know there's 3 playable characters, and one of them has like a really long dress, and I'm like, oh, they look kind of cool. Doesn't they look easy to move in though? Can the magic bullshit piss off? Nemesis, you're kind of ruining what would otherwise be a pretty decent boss fight outside of the health thing. When it was just a close range shenanigans, I was like, oh yeah, this fight's alright. But now you're doing this like homing magic bullshit. This fight's actually becoming really annoying because I know that puts status conditions on me. Yeah. You see on the right where kids were saying like flapjack used, that means a status condition was inflicted and it also used the healing item. And it keeps on popping up. Every time one of those things hit us, it inflicts a new status condition. Or tries to. I can't really like safely play as anyone else other than Nanana right now until she stops the magic bullshit. Ow. Because the cat's unused. Come on, Nanana, pull it through. My favorite little bean. Ow. Even if you are losing your memories and slowly your mind, even if you don't realize it, because the cogs of renewal are literally ripping you to shreds. So I know I was talking about during like the end of the RE6 streams about now that RE4 remake is separate ways is coming like hella fucking soon. I might have to reconsider my schedule. I've come to this decision that I'm going to stick to my original plan and the next Resident Evil game I'll cover is 7, which will be in October. I'm aiming to literally start it on Halloween, so it'll probably be more November we cover it. And then before Village, maybe then I'll cover 4 Remake, depending on how I feel. Because doing the 2 first-person games back-to-back... I'm not as much into first-person games in terms of, especially when it comes to the horror stuff. So it's like we'll see. And I kind of miss Leon Sex God Kennedy. I want to flirt with my TV screen again for a while. I mean Leon Scott Kennedy. What did you think I said? Man, Plato, the second fight against Plato is way more annoying than the first one. Because she didn't do this like status condition shit anywhere near as much on the first fight. Ow. You only got one flapjack left. I want to remind you all that we started the fight with 10. Just gonna kill. No. Okay, I know who should get the last hit then. Hey, get revenge for your... Ah! We fucking traded! We fucking traded! If anyone should get the last hit, it should get the one who, like, whose baby was murdered by this thing. The souls are being released. I don't know how many times I've dreamt of this. You don't understand how it feels to be a mother who had everything taken away in an instant. I never even got to hold my baby. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. When you quit blabbering and end this? Don't you need to talk to Sen? Your daughter? Soma Megumiba? Daughter? Soma? I'm Nemesis. A broken doll who failed to reach revival. Isn't that enough? The story in which I was the protagonist ends here. So be it. Keep your eyes closed. Huh? Oh, there's the last glimmer. Because that was the last thing her mother said when she was alive to Sen. I don't want you to see. Yeah, it was the last thing she remembers her mother saying. I'm about to do. I don't want you to see it. So Sen, please keep your eyes closed until the very end. Mother, could it be? Don't step in, Sen. Let this play out. Kokoro deserves one W. Just do it. Kill me, or your vengeance will haunt you forever. I know. I know, you don't have to worry about it. Thank you. Mother, stop. Wait, Kokoro. Close your eyes, Sen. She isn't Nemesis, she's my mother. She's Megumi, but her memory is back. I know. I know this is the first time I faced her. She has the face of a mother. Then please, Kokoro, if she's my mother, can you forgive her? I can't do that. You saw the souls, didn't you? They were all victims of Nemesis. I think this game graphically isn't detailed enough for me to get me in trouble for it. I just have no interest in putting them in those swimsuits, you know? Or the see-through shirt that Rei has. Rei has a shirt that's see-through. And it's just like a dress shirt, and it's like, okay. You saw the souls, didn't you? They were all victims of Nemesis. Sen, I thought your justice wouldn't allow this. I don't need justice. For abandoning my mother is justice, I don't... Sen, stop being selfish. This is fair punishment for me. No! You just wanted to see me, your daughter, again. So you can do anything you want for your daughter? I can't answer that, but you, Kokoro, you can. Kokoro, you know how a mother feels for a child. Goes in, he'll be fine. Yeah. I still get like flashbacks to when I streamed Data Live before I started streaming properly. And like every single stream without fail that had origami center stage got ripped off YouTube against my will. I didn't do anything. It was just it got pulled off YouTube for nudity or sexual content, and so it's like I've just always been on the fence ever since. Like origami was the bane of my existence in those streams. It's not fair. The souls. That was years ago, to be fair, so I know the system's changed since then. It isn't anywhere near as strict, but still. You're all against me, huh? You can't talk, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, some of my old Let's Plays, in particular Neptunia, there's like 2 thumbnails that got changed. The one when I was going through, both of them from V2, was the one where like, Big Nep, Nepgear, and Uzume are in the bathtub, and it's like that cauldron. I had that as a thumbnail, that got taken. And the one when, I think it's Sisha, is locked up, and it's like you get that key art of her like with like her arms held up above her. Because she was the key focus of that video, that was the thumbnail, and YouTube was not happy about that either. They eventually pulled that down. Kokoro, in front of her child. A mother wouldn't want to look like this. I'd want my child to have her eyes closed. I probably would have said the same thing. It's not that I've forgiven her. No more sacrifices for revival. But if she's willing to sign a contract like Nanana... Yeah. She can see her daughter while in purgatory. I'm sorry. Sorry for you and your family. Yeah, maybe. Sen, I'll leave the rest to you. Mother! Sen. Oh shit! Mother? Close your eyes, Sen. Mother. Why? Fucking I know that's not Mirai, that's Kuon. I've got my hands are raised, bitch, I'm ready. What are you doing? This isn't your purpose, right? You need to come after me. Who are you? It can't be. You look at me and only think about me. Fill your head with just me. I don't think that's Mirai at all. I think that's Kuon using Mirai. You love only me. That's how you make up for killing me. Nemesis and Yuri Minano. You should throw away what you don't need, right? Big sis Ray. This time is just for you and me. Or, alternatively, that is Mirai, but this is Revenant Mirai. So this is after death, and she's killed people. Because that would explain the Black Halo. That she's become full Revenant. It means she's killed people. Mirai? Diogenes! Were you listening? Or are you so stupid you can't get it? My sister, my favourite person, came for me all the way to the end of purgatory. My shut-in sister. This is such a great feeling. So don't get in my way. That's the only reason why I let Nemesis take me in the first place. What's going on? What am I looking at? This is reality, big sis. Reality. This is reality, then I can't let you go. Address me by my proper title. The Revenant Princess. Huh? I feel like I've said this before. Mirai's the Revenant Princess? So is it like Mirai but she's become a Revenant, or is it Kuon? Because Kuon's the Revenant Princess. I'm confused. Is it Kuon just looking like Mirai? Like, what are we thinking? What side of the coin are we thinking here? Revenant Mirai, or just Kuon using Mirai's body? Oh, there was a line there I didn't read. Whoops. Something about how she's going to pinch her sister's cheeks. Even if you're Ray's sister, you killed my mother twice. You really think we'll back down now? Don't be stupid. You're such a pain. I guess it's a good opportunity to do some tidying up, though. I need to keep your surroundings clean, big sis. Being by your side is a privilege just for me. I'm the only one who gets to touch you. Do you get it? This is starting to get really fucking creepy. Big sis exists just for me, okay? This is my philosophy of love. Got it. Rei, you need to fight. But that's Mirai. We can talk about it later. That's right. Okay. Running out of miracles starts playing. I fucking love that track from Death End 2. The final scene. Yeah, I wish it was longer. But I could say that about literally any fucking track that's like from an Idea Factory or a JRPG game. You know, it feels like every single track they make is great, but way too short. And after I'll talk to my sister. You're just trash. Don't try to trick my big sis. First, I'll take care of them. So dang metal. It was such a nice juxtaposition from the first game's final boss being so tragic and like soft, where you just hear the piano going before it eventually becomes Return to Me. Also, it's continuing on. The first ending, as soon as we defeated Nemesis, it ended. So now we're fighting more. So like this ending is already going different directions completely. This reminds me, honestly, of the extra ending bullshit from Bravely Default 1. Because in Bravely Default 1, you technically end the game at Chapter 4, but the game's 8 chapters. Chapter 5 through 8 are you repeating the game you just did in micro form, but with new things happening at set intervals, and so you get more of an idea of what's really going on. Oh, big sis, you've changed a lot since the last time I saw you. You've gotten really strong. You used to be weak and miserable. I really liked that about you. Tell me, Mirai, why are you? Knowing you, big sis, I thought you'd just be as alone in purgatory as at home. God, yeah, I remember that. Fucking, that was so unsettling. Where you go back to the village and like everyone's seemingly alive and Velvet almost immediately mentally resets. Because the one thing that she was fighting for doesn't exist, and suddenly she's being nice again, and like because it's so warped and broken in her head, and everyone else knows something's fucking wrong. And then when it eventually shatters, it's just another piece to start breaking at Velvet's heart and consciousness before she goes completely fucking doolally later on. Knowing you, big sis, we'd be alone. I never guessed you'd make friends down here and bring them all the way to me. It's an eyesore. Right. I'll be waiting ahead, so come get me. Oh, and come by yourself, big sis. She won't be going alone. Are you sure? She may not have a choice, right? What do you mean? Let's play. Yeah, Nanana's losing more and more of herself. Nanana? Let's play. The cult of renewal are affecting her. Most of the dead lose their self-consciousness here. Wait, don't tell me. Did you really not notice? Everyone, play. Why don't you play with her? She's your friend, right? And now it's the time like this. No, hold it together. Rei, we'll take care of Nanana. We can't leave the Revenant Princess Mirai like that. But just go, Rei. I'm sorry you have to go alone, but Kokoro, Sen, I understand. Take care of Nanana, please. It's gonna end the same way. They're all gonna kill each other. Finally, it's just you and me, big sis. Mirai, tell me what's going on. Hey, big sis, when we get home, what do you want to eat? I'll make you anything. I wouldn't usually allow this because you need balanced meals, but today is special. It could be a meal full of potatoes. You lived with me this whole time. There's no way you're a revenant. Human or revenant, I've always been your sister. I think it's been like 3 years. I reached revival once. 3 years ago. That's when our parents died. Yeah, that's right. Your memory was rewritten because of my revival, big sis. Kokoro said, people around someone who obtains revival have their memories rewritten. Is that why I didn't know you died? That's right. I never thought of them as parents, but I died with them. Did you know the first souls I took for my revival were theirs? I hated them, but at least they were useful. Don't say that about Mum and Dad. Since then, all I wanted to do was see you, big sis. It took me about 2 years to gather the souls for revival. I never thought Nemesis would drag me into purgatory again. Not to mention you too. I guess she hates me or something, but Nemesis sure is terrible. Terrible. You're the one who's terrible, Mirai. Enough with this already. Just tell me, what do you want to eat? I'm also terrible for not noticing. This seems like it's going to take a while, so can we go home? Just you and me, alone at home? Thelma is annoying, but if I killed her, you'd be sad, so I won't. Now let's go home. She just said, hey, I'd kill the dog. What the fuck? Hey, let's go home together. I promise I won't murder the dog. What the fuck? No! Go away! Let's go home. I'll give the souls a revival in time, and then we'll be a family again. Are you serious right now? You think we can be a family? Can't do that. I'm sure Thelma would have felt the same way. Thelma died? See? Yay! So it really is just you and me! Heraclitus. My master, give me your orders. Mirai, my sister. Understood. Such a pain. I know. I have a good idea. I should kill you once, and then I'll grant you revival. That way, I can delete all your useless memories and fill them in with other souls. Then you won't say these annoying things. You can go back to being only mine. From here on out, you're just mine. Also, her costume in the sprite changed. All Mirai's. Aristol. Oh, new battle theme. I'm on my own, so I'm trying to be actual, like, a smidge more cautious. In fact, I'm just going to do that now. And actually... Oh, wow, she teleported. What else will do to you? I want to make sure I don't die. Because I'm on my own, so it only takes one good critical hit. Because the auto healing, this, only kicks in if you reach low health. If you're one shot, it won't trigger it. Which is why I'm being careful. Also, I'm enjoying the boss theme. Oh, you, Robu. Oh, right. Like that. I don't want to get caught in that. That's why I'm being super careful. Oh, just anyways, I know. Yeah, and this isn't Kingdom Hearts, though. There's no second chance. So if I get what would be one shot, it will just go through. Because anytime it goes to move, I back up. Oh, Jesus, this track is super, like, techie. I kind of like it. Oh, is this a philosopher? Oh, okay. This name, Aristotle, I didn't realize. Hey, Kingdom Hearts has super bosses that are designed to knock you into a wall to reset your position so they can then kill you. Like, Kingdom Hearts combat is actually really, like, story! But the gameplay, no, there's actually some pretty fucking clever ideas in there. Because they have a thing that makes it so you can't get one comboed, and a thing that makes it so you can't be one-shot. But both instances have enemy AI that's designed around not letting you get cocky with those two mechanics. Music's okay. I like this track. I wish when this thing wasn't going to teleport, I don't know how well you guys can see it. It starts flickering like mad. Oh, I just looked on the playback. You don't see it at all. Oh, it flicks in between frames. Like, because obviously I stream at 60 frames. Then when the boss goes to teleport, it flickers to a position right next to it on 1 frame. So on 30 frames, you guys aren't seeing it, but I do. I'm seeing it literally flicker to a position like an inch to the right of it just before it teleports, and it's really distracting on my eye because it like flickers between those two spots. I didn't realize it was on 1 frame, so you guys just can't see it. It's only if I was streaming at 60 frames you'd be able to see it. I'll point it out next time it goes to teleport and see if you guys spot it at all. I'm glad I'm taking this slow though, because it lets me actually appreciate this. Oh Jesus, as she tries to turn it into a bullet hell. Trying to read you. You know, like when you're playing like an old game on like from the 90s, and there's sprite flickering, where like the sprite like flickers in and out of existence, and it's like 1 frame sort of thing. That's kind of what it's doing when it goes to teleport. But instead of flickering in and out, it flickers to like an inch to its right, and then back to its position, then back to its right. But it's like on each individual frame. So like frame 1 it's on the left, frame 2 it's on the right, frame 3 it's on the left, frame 4 it's on the right. Like it just did it again there. And it's like on the playback, you guys can't really see the framing much. It just kind of warps along because of it. But it actually charges up the warp for like a good second before it does it, so you know it's coming. Getting distorted? Yeah, maybe. I was just more surprised that like this game renders them on 1s. Because usually with flickering, to make sure that especially nowadays, to make sure the flickering doesn't act like potentially get seizures, they don't do them on 1s. They don't do them on 1 frame sort of thing, because it starts like sprite flickering was a whole other thing. It was to hide assets, but nowadays, oh shit. It's usually to try and stop the risk of seizures, that they don't make things flicker on 1s, because it could be too aggressive on the eye. So to see it flicker on 1, like, oh Jesus Christ! Get those Beyblades away from me, oh god! Jesus Christ, yeah. I didn't really notice any trouble with the bosses in RE5 up until I did my professional run. When I did my professional run, suddenly I started noticing shit. I was like, hang on a minute, this isn't, I don't think this is working right. Or if it is working right, it's working kind of bullshit. I'm gonna boost again, just to be safe. Ow. But I actually genuinely really enjoyed the professional mode playthrough. I know a lot of people would like to say like RE5 is pretty frustrating and professional, and it certainly had its moments, but as a whole, I actually pretty enjoyed it. What also helped is that I got the Magnum with infinite ammo and gave that to Shiva. Not Shiva. So like I didn't have to worry about her anymore, so it just made it way more manageable. So she just had an unlimited ammo Magnum in her pocket. Ruins one, he faced Wesker. Yeah, I watched one speedrun where like it was like a speedrun attempt and it fell apart at Wesker 1, and I was just like, that's a shame. Like Wesker 1 can be so interesting, to put it. No, the reason why I was so determined to make sure I don't lose is, other than the fact it would kick me out the level and have to do it again, is because this feels so plot sensitive that it would lead to like a bad end. Oh, and we don't get to pick up her soul, so that's another soul I got a rematch. Defeat the Revenant Princess. It's strange that this is not the future you wished for. Huh? That's strange. Like, you can't beat me. Hey, big sis, can you hold my hand one last time? You promised me, right? You said you'd hold on and not let go. I don't know if I want to. I think this is a bait. Because it's going to make the second I'll see her. Because I think she knows that she has to let her sister go, and that's going to make the second I'll see her. This makes me happy. If I hadn't let go back then, I wonder if my future with Mirai would have been different. Sorry, Mirai. What I can do for you now is cry. Second phase Wesker is the... Yeah, I just turn off the lights, run in a circle, and the moment he says, "You can't hide forever," get the rocket launcher and fucking pray I can end the fight there. Because if not, that fight becomes a huge pain in the ass. If you can't get it on the first rocket, then you have to go get the ammo, you have to get Sheva set up to launch, like to prepare it. It's so much. I love you, big sis. Don't be sorry. Well... Huh? I kind of knew it. I kind of knew it. I was like, where's the bad ending coming in? Huh? We'll always be together. Forever. Fucking stabbed them together. And let me guess, that's the end. That's that second cycle. And so she fulfilled her wish. I guess. By making what is dear to her, forever hers. Alright, that's loop 2, so we got another loop and a half, maybe. Yeah, alright, I'm already jealous enough at this bedroom. We don't need to stare at it. Or is this just the end screen? Oh. So no one came back. Great. Meanwhile, hey Kuon. I don't know if this is the right decision, but... gather in the name of Kuon. With your sick as fuck design. The guiding light. Idea. Given birth by Ray. This is the recrystallized form of idea. An omnipresence light, transcending all borders, throughout space and time. Until the time comes to sever all chains, I will keep them safe. That move where he... I think I got by that insta-kill. I remember getting got by an insta-kill from Wesker in RE5. I remember freaking out about it. Actually, the one where you fight him at the end of the Spencer manor after he's just killed Spencer. Yeah, that one I remember getting IK'd a number of times because I was really shit at the quick time event. You mean the shotgun wedding? Yeah. Until the time comes to sever all chains, I will keep them safe. Man, Kuon looks so cool, and silver trophy, together forever ? Reaffirm your sister's love even in death. No idea what this means. Yeah, that one, lol. Yeah. But if she reads it out, so maybe if I had the game dubbed, I'd be able to know what it says. But oh well. Please save your progress. Yep, because it needs to make sure it has a save point ready for your third cycle. I get it. New story. Yeah, do your third cycle. Alright, so that means we're going to be back at chapter 6. Is your heart still asleep? I think the hanging loves the missiles one-handed at you. Oh yeah, fight 2, the one with where you got to get the rocket hit on him. I can't remember if I got... I know I died on that one a couple of times when I got to it on stream. Fine, it can wait a bit. My wish doesn't have to reach you just yet, not until you wake up. Whether yesterday was unhappy, or today is unhappy, or tomorrow will be unhappy. Alright, cycle 3, let's go! Similar to when we got to the end of Cycle 1, I will get to our first manual save, and then I will wrap up then. So we still got a bit yet. For every tear that is shed, rather, because tears will be shed, there will still be smiles in the future. And then tomorrow we'll start Loop 3 properly. There's no law that enforces kindness in the world. The world is empty. The world is unreasonable. But however, because of that... You must give meaning to your tears through your will. You must give meaning to the sadness and pain you endure, because it'll be unrequited, because it is unfair. And I can't skip this dialogue, because it's the same dialogue that starts every cycle. Most importantly, use your tears to smile. I'm sure your future will be wonderful. Alright, let's see how soon we notice the changes this time. Last time we noticed it immediately, because the fairy that comes to help you and to make sure you go the right path, or sorry, the butterfly, is straight up Kuon. But we didn't know that on the first loop, we only learnt that on the second. And as I said before, like Cycle 2 was like Sen's cycle. Because it was Sen learning about her mother properly, it was Sen making the conviction with herself properly, like all the pieces in place. Hello, Kuon. Good morning. I wonder, are you awake? Don't push yourself too hard. Concentrate on maintaining your self-consciousness. I just want Ray to just go, I've been here before. Who? Are you asking about me? Or are you asking about yourself? Me, myself. I am... If you can't remember, get it back before you lose it all. BRB, no worries. Alright, do this again. Have you got anything new to say? No. Oh, here's Mirai. That's Mirai, because she's going to start following us as we go past. Yep, and then we get this memory. Ah, you didn't eat it again. You don't even cook. How can you tell the shiitake in the beef patty? I made sure to chop it up so finely you wouldn't even notice. Even Thelma wouldn't notice it. You're the only person who leaves the whole patty alone and just eats potatoes, big sis. Big sis? And you can see, yeah, that the pink one starts following us now. Because it's Mirai. Oh, you arrived. Sorry to call you here. What, are you nervous about being called to the teacher's office? Or is it because you're at school for the first time in a long time? Oh well, I know things are tough with your parents and all, but why don't you come to school more often? You don't want to flunk 10th grade, do you? Hey, are you listening, Utada? Utada, is that me? Getting over there. We're getting there. Baby steps. Gotta work out these feathers. Or these wings even. Oh, getting over there. Yeah, there we go. There we're here. Yeah, and this is the call from Yuri, moments after her death. Her last chance. What's going on? They said that you were the reason why everything happened. Why? Why did this have to happen to me? It's your fault, isn't it? Help me, Ray. I can't. My name is Ray. Ray Hitada. And I don't think we unlocked a new colour, so I will put on a new costume for the next run. Back. No worries. We're just doing the intro again because you have to do at least do some of the prologue, and then it warps you back to chapter 6, and then we see what changes. So once we get that warp back to chapter 6, that's when I'll save and wrap. But it didn't come up saying I'd unlocked any new costumes, so next playthrough I will do a different costume. I'll mix it up. I don't know what I'll do, but I'll figure it out. Yes, you're Ray Hitada. Don't ever forget. Who are you? Wait, I still have more questions I want to ask. Where am I? She's in my room. Why am I even here? Can't believe it. That's so irresponsible. Kuon doesn't care. Kuon's like, yeah, look, I've been dead my entire existence. What the fuck do I care? Go. And then she's going to realise that she's getting followed by her little sister. You've been following me, haven't you? Can't rely on me. I don't even know what's going on. If anything, I need someone to rely on. Is this a dream? Please tell me if it is. I'm not proud of this, but I'm pretty weak. Tired of walking, so I'm going to stay here until I wake up. You're telling me to keep walking? Why do you even bother with me? Don't you need to stay with the other butterflies? Sis? Huh? Big sis? No, why? Big sis? Are you Mirai? I am Mirai. Mirai Hitada. Big sis Ray's little sister. But this time not like demonic, because new loop. Why are you here too? I don't know. I was at home, but somehow I ended up here. It was dark, no one was around. I was so confused. I didn't have my phone. Not that I could use it as a butterfly. It was really disheartening, you know. Then I felt as if Big Sis was nearby, so I followed you. The wind's picking up. I don't know if you heard that a second ago. And it really was you. I was right. I'm glad. Being alone is scary. I'm scared too. I'm scared too. This isn't normal. I don't even know where we are. But if we're together, it'll be fine, because I have my super reliable little sister. Right? Yeah. What's wrong? Big sis, can I ask you something? Remember when I was little, you would kindly hold my hand whenever I had nightmares? Could you do that again? Of course. This is a bit like, really, like, this is like something in her soul. Yeah, essentially, when you beat the game, the game cycles back around to the start because you're on a new loop, but everything still happened in that first loop. It's like some kind of time shenanigans. It's just these characters lose the memory of it. But things only start changing at chapter 6, which is why after you do the prologue to establish a new loop's made, the game auto jumps straight to chapter 6. You don't do 1 through 5 again. Yeah, it's kind of like a groundhog. But each time, an ulcer is made, which is like these giant crystal things. And on the load screen, you can see how many ulcers have been formed. Like every time it loads, you see how many tears there are and how many ulcers have been formed. So now there'll be 2 big crystals on the load screen. When all 3 are formed, well, there's no more slots for a 4th, so that's where things will come to a true end. It's about learning more of the mystery on each loop. Like, we learned more about Nemesis on the second loop, about how it was Sen's mother, and how Sen and her mother was basically forced into a battleground at the Revenant Princess's desire. Whilst in the first one, we really didn't learn anything about the Revenant Princess, or really Nemesis, until it was too late. Thank you, Sis, I love you. Alright. And it should be, we encounter the really screaming enemy, and then it will start warping us ahead. Like that bridge over there. What is this place, really? The scenery, it has to be a dream. It's not a dream. I know because your hands are warm. Mirai, do you remember anything from before coming here? I was cooking at home. I was checking the recipe on my phone. It's really tough to cook for such a picky, weird sister. After all, you only eat potatoes. I'm not that weird. So once dinner was made, I decided to go get my big sis Ray, the shut-in potato eater. Don't give me that weird nickname. Also, I'm not a shut-in. Next thing I knew, I was here. I don't remember what happened. Me either. I don't remember being in my room. By the way, I just like how my room is set up. That's why I prefer spending my time in there. That's what they call a shut-in, big sis. Let's go. Yeah. Big sis, even if something happens, don't forget to keep holding my hand. Mirai, you hold tight too. I won't let go no matter what. Yeah. they say now walking ahead, not holding hands. And then here, when the bridge gets collapsed, and it's when the it should move ahead. Because yeah, this guy's gonna scream, so brace your ears. Alright, we're good. Huh? What is that? This place is crazy stuff like this too. Mirai, run! The path! Mirai! Big sis! Your hand! You didn't fucking hold it! Mirai? Mirai? Mirai! I promised to not let you go. Yeah, and there she goes. And there's the first idea formed of the 7 to start working towards the next Alcea. Mirai, Mirai! I promised you, what am I? My memory's getting hazy. I am... Her world starts to close in the more she loses. I don't know. Everything is white. I don't... And then Kuon comes down, snapping her fingers. Oi! Oi! Stay still with me. Oi! I need you. Don't go yet. Maintain your self-consciousness. I am... Gather the things to prove you are a soul. That way. That's right. I need to find my little sister. I need to find her and hold her hand. Yes, if you have a strong self-consciousness, when Idea awakens, and its avatar, a guardian, will be your salvation. It's weird, I'm dominantly right-handed, but I can only click my fingers with my left. I can only do that with my left, I can't do it with my right. Alright, now here's Heraclitus. What is your name? What do you desire? I'm Rei. I'm Rei Hatada, my sister. I want to save Mirai. Master Rei Hatada, I am your guardian, Heraclitus, the mirror which reflects your heart. Receive a piece of this power as my blessing. We still don't even know why Heraclitus talks. That hasn't been elaborated on yet. Why can Heraclitus talk? Oh, yeah, I've still got the alternate colour on, so she's in red instead of white. The sword? What just happened? The sprite's how she's supposed to look. Are you telling me to fight? Goodbye! So you're ignoring me, I see. Wait for me. I'll be right there, Mirai. And now we should get the time skip. Oh, actually, we might get more Kuon first. Let's see right now. No worries, you take care. Rest well. Yeah, Kuon now has 2 Alceas, so let's see how this goes. This is new. Enveloping memories. Their illumination transcends space and time. The 2 Alcea. As they transcend worldly boundaries from a different time, their brilliance will continue recording everything. Nanana, the memory from the first end. And the fucking spirit lock, the end, the second end. Ugh. Such a world. No, but because it's like this, I need to hide it from them. As an imperfect being, this is the best I can do. But hopefully, no more memories of sadness will be engraved. I will find the identity of the cruelty infesting you, Big Sister Rei. Yep, and now we've got the chapter skips. I was going to wrap up soon anyway, because we know we're at the chapter skip. Get some food and then get ready for work. Yep, chapter 2. Well, that's prologue actually. That's not. We haven't got everyone else yet. That's still the rest of the prologue. That's chapter 1. That's meeting. Yep. Then jumping through chapters, meeting Sen after she nearly gets eaten. Becoming friends with Nanana. And her showing her humanity. Losing our dog. Miss you, Thelma. Yeah, look at that load screen. There are 2 big crystals there. I know it was only for a second. Thank you, Thelma. Now we're back at chapter 6, the gang together. It's been a while, Ray. Do you know what might be different in this loop? In the first loop, Nanana was with us when we first met Nemesis in chapter 6. The second one, Sen was. In this one, Kokoro is. Kokoro might straight up kill Nemesis. And so then Nemesis isn't in chapter 7 and 8. It's been a while, Ray. Kokoro. It's not been even that long. Oh, I just meant we haven't talked like this in a bit. For a while there, you were down on yourself, Ray. Oh, please forgive me. I'm so embarrassed I could die. It's okay then, I'm done teasing your dark history. I didn't call because I had something to say. I just wanted to hear your voice. I'm relieved. You're back to the old Ray. Kokoro. Anyway, I don't want to keep you for long. Ray, you want to catch up with Mirai's soul and grant a revival? I want to get revenge on Nemesis. We haven't achieved our goals yet, and I'm sure we'll run into more hardships. So let's get through it together. Okay, Kokoro. Wish you'd call me Big Sis, Kokoro. Oh well, see you in purgatory. Oh yeah, you should also talk to the other two. I'm sure they're worried. Chapter... New 6 was round 3. Retaking the end. Okay. Oh, I didn't skip it this time. I get to see this animation. I know it's only going to be a little different, but still. But the thing is, like, the diary keeps the previous loops. If she just read through her book, eventually you'd go, wait a minute. A reverend little girl who's involved in a car accident. She wants to know about her older brother. Her brother was older by 10 years. A driver lost control and drove over the sidewalk while her brother held her hand. A revenant of a man who lost everything due to fraud. It caused him to lose faith in humanity. Before the fraud, he believed all humans were born good. By trusting others, he gained wealth and started a family. A female revenant with an unknown cause of death. Due to her frightening experiences in life, she could not word her memories very well. Death. Deserted back road. It was around some time. Go home. She was attacked by... Jack the Ripper. A male revenant who was once a comedian. He passed away suddenly due to a disease. He had no good childhood memories. His parents died young and he was oppressed by his relatives. Comedy was his only relief. He wished to become a comedian when he grew up. His favourite catchphrase was "see you in the next life." A revenant of a woman who committed suicide from mental stress. Due to her laziness, she had no desire for revival and lived a long while in purgatory. When a sword is destroyed in purgatory, a fragment of the sword is formed. They were those who collected these fragments. She had seen those collectors a few times. She asked why they collected the fragments. Yeah, and I didn't get the aberrant form of Mirai, the revenant princess. Her revenant form is unimaginable compared to her normal look. She reigned over purgatory with overwhelming power. Revenant princess who crushed her world. Nemesis wanted her to feel the same pain. Oh, Traitor is the track name for fighting Mirai. That's a cool track name at least, just Traitor. So Thelma's gone. Oh, and I should, though, if I go back to Ordeal. Yeah, I still have 6 and 7 on here, because I have both the optional Ordeals, so I can still grind them up. I'll talk to the gang, and then I will save and wrap. Sen, it's now a good time? Of course, not a problem. Actually, I was going to call you. I'm glad. I just wanted to apologise. Oh, that. You already apologised. I said it's not a problem, and I meant it. You're not very skilled, and it's a dangerous place. But you persevere for your sister. That's your justice, right, Ray? While your approach is in need of refining, your intentions are splendid. I'm happy to hear that, but I wouldn't call that what I'm doing justice. Justice is different for each person, regardless of what they think. Whatever guides their way of living, that is their justice. By watching my father, a prosecutor, I saw that his justice was following the laws and adhering to the rules. My mother, who died in that bus accident, didn't agree with my father's way of thinking. But I agree with my father. That's why I cannot forgive the revenants who break the rules and feast on souls in purgatory. I have no reservations fighting alongside everyone else because I know I'm following my justice. Rei, believe in what you are doing for your sister. Make that your justice and pursue it. Thanks for saying that. I'd like to talk more, but it's my turn. I should go. Are you at the hospital? No, ramen shop. Oh, you were serious when you said you like ramen. Yeah, I like honing my willpower in high-stress situations. You did say ramen, right? I did. This place has huge portions, and the law here states you cannot leave any leftovers. A fierce battle with a mountainous opponent. This is how I hone my mental fortitude. The law? Isn't that just a piece of paper on the wall? Whatever it may be, breaking the law goes against my justice. Now I must go. If I survive, I'll see you in purgatory. Yeah, good luck. Hey, no, I need to hear your voice again. Now you're not, like, gone insane. I need to hear that hey-yo. There it is. You've reached Nana's phone. That's right. I'm curious, does Purgatory have signal? And how do you charge your phone? Nana loves Rei, so I don't mind the surprise at all. She's like, I don't fucking know. That's not what I... Anyway, what's up, Rei? Oh, I just wanted to thank you. When I made everyone go their separate ways, you brought us all back together. So thank you, Nana. It's okay, Nana should be the one thanking you. You accepted a revenant. But I feel like I was trying to take advantage of you. Really? Honestly, I don't know what I was thinking. But I think I had some ulterior motives. Well, I don't have any memory of when I was alive. But the past is in the past. Nana now is the real Nana. Nana loves you, Rei, though I'm not sure why. But Nana thinks what's important is what Rei thinks of Nana. Nana, you're a revenant, but I think of you as my friend, from the bottom of my heart. In that case, Nana will keep helping with what's important to you, Rei. Fighting for a friend is so fun and exciting. Thank you. Rei, thank me again. If I can help Mirai, then Rei and Nana together will be super fun and exciting, right? Yeah. I'll be waiting for everyone in Purgatory. Hello, devil. Hello, Mephis. Added a new ordeal. You may now pass beyond the middle layer of Purgatory. Once you are ready, carry on, but let not your guard down. Fanatic free! Wonder how the path will split this time. But we'll have to find out next time! Ooh! Yeah, let me save. As always, thank you all so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. It genuinely really helps this little channel grow. Additionally, you can find my Patreon, my Twitter, Patreon and PayPal in the description of every video if you feel so inclined. But until next time, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you then. Peace.